handful of presenters, a mass of microphones, and a whole load of talk. This is TigerTails Radio.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to another exciting episode of TigerTails Radio. I am your host, TK, with all the volumes up way too high.
Yes.
It sounds like we're being attacked by some mini Hoover. Ah, there we go.
Hang on. I don't know what's causing all that. Oh, I know why. Hang on.
A handful of presenters, a mass of microphones, and a whole load.
At least that means one thing. The YouTube feed should be quite good today.
Aha. My ears taste.
Yeah.
Surprise intro! This is the first 20 minutes we're allowed to break everything, and we will.
The starting clip was effectively a Felis doing up his flies, wasn't it?
That's my waistcoat. I can't hear myself at all.
Get near to the mic.
I am as close. TK, have you turned me all the way down?
No.
Because I am as close to the mic as usual.
Oh, hang on. How's that?
Yeah, I can hear myself,
Better.
but now the music is so loud.
It is.
Really, really loud.
There we go. I think I fixed it.
Um,
This is what happens when you change all the settings so you can record a YouTube video.
Yeah.
You then forget what settings were, think you got it right, and realise you haven't. But yes, welcome to TigerTails Radio Season 8, Episode 26.
something.
I'm your
26.
host, TK, and joining me in the studio we have a Felis.
Hello.
And somewhere amongst the internets there is a Xavier.
Hello.
Hello. Coming live through the miracle of Google Plus Hangouts.
I hear a voice.
A voice in the ether. I hear dead people.
Speak, apparition.
Oh, now you want me to talk.
Ah, fun.
Oh, there we go. I think I've turned us slightly too far down.
The music's still a...
It is really loud this week, isn't it?
Everything is loud.
Well, I've turned your headphones up slightly, but...
Yeah, there needs to be some adjustments on the settings, I feel.
Working on it!
Really need to shave again soon.
Yeah, you and me both. Mine's chin's starting to grow back. It's like, no, that shouldn't be there. Yeah, I need to get rid of that. And yes, we still seem to have a massive amount of YouTube lag anyway, so... It doesn't matter. It's all kind of working out in the end. We thought we'd try a little something this week, and we found out how YouTube works, so that's a notable experience for the future.
Turns out it's full of tubes!
Yeah, it is full of tubes. Who'd have thought? So yeah, we're still on about 30-odd seconds lag. That's a pain in the ass. One day
30
we'll
seconds.
figure out a way of eliminating that. Or one day.
Yeah, about
God.
30 seconds.
Your days are numbered, lag.
Actually, I want to hear how the YouTube feed sounds now, because I've done some changes. I don't want to see if it's made any difference at all. It's like, no, that shouldn't be there. No, it hasn't. Okay, we still got that irritating whining noise. Fuck that PC. I need to buy a new laptop. That's the only way. Get a nice shiny new laptop, and then I can hopefully have that noise eliminated. It's going to be really expensive though. But it should be good for
only about
writing at least.
600 quid.
Yeah. Fuck.
Well, at least you're doing a good job now.
I suppose. So, now that we've finished breaking everything, and only 4 minutes into
haven't.
the show, which
Not
is
it.
a surprise for us. Normally it's
Not
at least
it.
20.
Nah. So,
So, Felix, how was your week?
we've already called not it, TK.
I don't care.
Ah,
You forgot that element, didn't you?
TK,
Yeah.
how was your week?
Well, it's silent until you tell me how yours was, because I've forgotten something.
What have you forgotten?
In the other room,
Yeah.
in your room, which I'm just about to go into,
Because reasons.
there is a cup of tea with my name on it.
Yes, I was wondering how long you can leave it. Do you want me to pass it?
No, you can tell us later.
Racker. Let me sip some water first, because my throat is... My week's not been too bad, actually. We've had an Alex around the house all week, because Destiny.
Yep.
Is that the real reason he's not here this week? And
no.
your story of family commitments actually is just destiny.
You can check my phone. He claims it's a family commitment, and he wasn't home when I got there, so...
What's the PS4?
Yes. Unless the angry pikey midget has stolen it.
Maybe he's remote playing. Maybe he's got himself a Vita.
But no, the week was spent. We finally finished doing all of the things at Celine's new place.
Hooray!
Including internet!
Woo!
Which, due to the construction of the place and the only phone line that is accessible, means that in the living room, signal. Go down the canted corridor and into Celine's room and you're down to 1 bar signal.
Wow.
Upstairs in our housemate's room, none. So
Cables.
I'm going to look into buying her a Netgear extender. You know, the Wi-Fi equivalent of a Redstone repeater.
Or cables.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of cable. You have to route it across the front door as well, is the problem.
Yeah, like what we do here.
And
We do it under the doormat.
I'm not sure if their tenancy agreement will let them staple the cable to all of the places.
We haven't stapled the cables apart from the one going to Hedges' room. But the landlord doesn't seem to give a shit, so we don't care.
No, it really doesn't give a shit.
And apart from that, been recording on and off. Because it's really hard to find noiseless moments to do it in.
Yep, I know that feeling.
The noise is still there.
The noise is still there at odd hours. It's not the full the stereo thing going on, but there is a lot of drunken crashing. And
Is he driving now in the house?
yeah. Sounds like somebody's flipping a fucking Skoda. And dicking around in RPG Maker because fun.
Because games.
Because games. And we actually now have Steam Workshop support, which means
Woo!
you can actually get stuff out there more easily if you want to. Of course, the problem is that I'm still stuck with the laptop screen for everything. Because a post-coital incident means that I accidentally shit-kicked my laptop.
Ha ha ha.
And fractured the entire screen, which is a 200 quid repair job.
It's gone up the last time that I spoke to you.
I'm calling it 200 as a safe conservative estimate because it's 120 for a new screen, 60 or 70 for the repair job, including courier back and forth, and about a tenner for the packaging for insurance reasons that they have to have it put in.
Nice.
Because I threw away some of the original parceling packages.
You know, the thing it tells you not to do? He went and did it.
Hey, I threw it away after 4 weeks.
Pete, have you thrown yours away yet?
Oh god, no.
I still have the retail box that came in, you know, the slim box. Pete knows what I'm talking about.
I kept mine under the premise that I'll probably need something to put it in when I move in 2 years.
Yeah,
I have used it more than you probably ever will.
I kept that box, the thin one inside the main packaging. However, they want the original packaging for insurance reasons. So it's about a tenner for them to send out a replacement set of things.
Of course.
Naturally.
Well, they said 9 quid, but I'm calling it a tenner. So yeah, 200 is about a conservative estimate.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So have we learnt our lesson not to have sex?
No.
No. No.
What a silly question. Silly, Xavier. Silly questions.
It is. What else did I do this week? Tidied up a little bit. Messed up a little bit.
Oh, really?
Finally got round to finishing watching Gurren Lagann.
Is that a thing?
Yes, it's a thing.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I'm not acquainted with this thing.
It's a giant robot anime series where the laws of physics work on the TV tropes page Rule of Cool.
I see.
The more
Isn't
awesome...
that most giant robots series anime?
Yeah, but these guys actually outright say, you know, how the fuck does that robot turn to the other thing with the conservation? Go to TV tropes and look at the Rule of Cool. Awesome is literally a force in the Gurren Lagann universe.
It's a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
It is the force with you.
It's kind of fun. Pete's probably seen it at some point. I'm guessing.
Quick, Pete, to know knowledge.
seen something. I'd imagine clips.
Well, it's just this really weird thing where, you know, a main character dies, and another character's trying to be him, and he's sat there going, you're burning yourself out, come on. He comes to this epiphany, realizes, I don't need to be Kamina, I need to be me. Spoiler alert. 5 episodes later, I'm fucking Kamina, bitches!
Ha 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 ha.
Sounds about right.
No, it's seriously a fun show. I would do it done and dusted, but I'm already done!
Oh!
So, TK.
My week has been a little bit of skiving off work. I say skiving off work. I booked some blue time because I have loads of blue time left. So I took advantage of that to escape early in a couple of days. Because why the hell not?
Loo time. Loo time.
Yeah. Well, that just sounds like, you know, the mandatory next morning after you've eaten 5 enchiladas.
Oh yeah, we don't want to go there.
No.
Ooh, excuse me.
And I've been watching Turtles because that's now come back and is airing on Fridays. Fuck yeah!
You have to watch it like terrestrial people and everything.
And I have to wait each week. And what's worse is I have to wait until the weekend so I can get my totally legitimate review copy.
Oh no.
I know, tragic, right? Such a tragedy, this place. And what else am I thinking of? I've been doing loads of things. We've made YouTube videos, we've got them out there. That was good fun.
There was some Steam Train stuff.
There was some Steam Train stuff. There was some more Steam Train stuff on Saturday that I forgot about. But I played with them on Wednesday.
Was it you put up a compilation video, wasn't it?
I did. I put up a compilation video on my main YouTube channel, on TigerTails TV on YouTube, which was nice. And that included some footage I'd actually filmed that day by nipping up to Romsey to film Steam Trains go steaming through.
I didn't watch it because it's not really a hobby of mine, but I noticed.
Yeah, well, credit for noticing. Don't really expect you to watch it. You're not really the target audience for the Steam Train stuff, so...
No, I know.
I do have quite an unusual channel. It's got random stuff. It's like Steam Trains, TigerTails radio stuff, random stuff, gun videos. It's a little bit of everything, really. You name it, we've got it on there. Oh, except everything sensible.
My channel actually randomly has a little bit of gaming stuff, a little bit of development stuff, a little bit of voiceover stuff, and a little bit of dinosaur erotica stuff.
Yeah, which you stole from the show.
I
totally thieved.
I think I did link TigerTails Radio in the tags. I can't remember if I did it in the description or not.
No, not in the description.
I did make sure.
For shame.
I'm sorry. I did make sure to put a mature content warning on it.
Yeah, that was probably a good idea.
Yeah.
You think?
And myself and Hedgie saw a movie.
Oh.
Yeah, which I'll be talking about for Done and Dusted. Featuring such delights as Mark Hamill, Jess Hartnell, and a few others.
I'm trying to think what Mark Hamill's been in that I...
Yeah, loads of interesting things. Quick question, Felix. Have you got anything for Felix started this week?
I've got some things that I were meant to put up 2 weeks ago, so...
If you
but
check
we ran out of time in that show.
If you check the TigerTails Radio archive page, can you see if those are the ones I've already linked? Because I remember putting up some links early and then you didn't do them and I didn't bother taking them down.
Can I do that after the show?
Well, it's kind of useful if you do it at some point during the show because then I can just submit the page once we finished. You see?
I can let me go to the...
You can do it while Pete's telling us about his week, because my week was, aside from a bit of work, and some Steam Trains, and some film watching, and getting into Rob Paulson's podcast, because Rob Paulson is awesome.
It sounds like you've had a busy week, rather than the I'm trying to blag my way out of talking about my week.
Yeah, I've been doing shit this week. It's been productive and
wait.
all kinds of crazy.
Pinky Rob Paulson or Meatloaf Rob Paulson?
Pinky Rob Paulson.
Okay, just checking.
Rob Paulson, who's done Pinky from Pinky in the Brain.
Again, in my brain, he's still, you know, my brain just goes, Brain. Because his name and his look is Brain.
Maurice LaMarche played Brain.
Yeah, whereas Maurice is a Pinky name. It's a name that you'd associate with the way Pinky looks and sounds.
Maurice LaMarche didn't just play Brain in Pinky in the Brain. He also played such delightful characters as Oscar Wildcat in Queer Duck. Go figure. Go figure.
They just added Queer Duck the movie to Netflix, by the way.
I know.
Oh, God.
And I'm going, that's hilarious, because now my illegitimate review copy, I don't quite need it as much, because Netflix has it. The trouble is, Netflix does have this annoying habit of getting rid of things occasionally.
It does.
It's never permanent on Netflix, which is a shame.
Licensing.
Yeah, I can understand why they have to do it. which is why we have illegitimate review copies. Haha!
And Felix burping professionally into mic.
I also saw...
Not sorry at all, actually.
I saw Monty Python Almost Live as well. Well, Monty Python Live mostly, they called it.
Is that the most recent one?
Yeah, that was the one. That was the one they did live, and I was like, yeah, that was aired on television at the same time. It's been a little while now. It should be available. And lo and behold, it was. And I was like, haha! Yoink! Bye now! I will have this. I will watch this. And I was thinking about doing that for Done and Dusted. But then I thought, no, I'll do the other thing, because it's funny.
TK?
Yeah?
The things that are still going on are, well...
Going to be talked about in Felix Starter?
Yeah, basically, do I just need to
TK.
lift the entire section and copy and paste it in? Is my main question.
Hard West is the only one that I'll bring up, because I can't be fucked to go through everything else. Because I think everything else finished last time, and Hard West was the only one still going.
Fair enough.
Welcome to Behind the Curtain of TigerTails Radio.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's Hullabaloo, Divorce the Game, and the Ultimate Personalized Gaming Network? Yeah.
So are you covering Divorce the Game?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
At Alex's kind of sort of behest.
I'll steal that then.
And one of the good things to come from Gamergate, which I'll talk about in the Fearless Starter thing.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yes, you are.
I don't. I'm looking forward to this.
You know what really surprises me?
Everything.
No,
String.
the most surprising thing...
Sudden surprises.
No, the most surprising thing out of the entire thing is 4chan's
Your
Vivian.
face.
4chan's Vivian was actually one of the most surprising things to come out of the whole thing for me.
I saw that. That was like a well-rounded, sensible character with a backstory and everything.
A pretty good design.
Yeah.
They're going,
not
4chan? Have you been saving up all your good deeds for this one moment?
No, yes,
probably.
The 4chan is generally, on the whole, not too bad. It is populated by a vocal minority of dicks, but when a cause comes along that needs supporting, they're generally there to support it.
That's pretty much the internet as a whole, though, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's kind of encapsulated by 4chan, that isn't it? It's like the internet, but concentrated into one place.
Yeah.
It is like orange juice with bits.
Concentrated sturgeon.
Oh, and Mr. Pete.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about Facebook a little bit later on, I think.
Yes.
I've got the Octodad thing now.
Hate you.
I've not played with it yet, but I've got it. It's free DLC on Steam. I was like, I'll be having that then.
Oh shit! I've been paid. I can buy it.
Well, I've bought it already.
You've just been paid, Pete.
Yeah, I've
you
just
know what
been
happens
paid.
on Thursday, don't you?
Thursday.
Yes.
Thursday, September the 18th.
Yes.
Little copyrighted June, little copyrighted June.
It's a little copyrighted June.
Little copyrighted June.
Like Phyllis and presents.
Hang on, let me check my calendar. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I like that ending. That ending had class.
Fun.
Google Calendar.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
I'm going to have to set remote wavings because I'll be in Kidderminster.
No, I've not got anything down on Google Calendar.
Kidderminster.
Aha! Actually, more Bridgenorth, I'd say, because that's where we're going to lunch, I expect. I'm chasing steam trains! I'm having a 4-day steam train-a-thon. I am happy.
I paid my rate on the 18th. What are you talking about?
So no, that just got overridden by an image of TK on a hand-pumped cart chasing after trains, literally.
I chase trains.
I like trains.
I do. Did you, completely changing the subject away from Felix's little hint dropping, did you catch Tom Scar on Radio 1?
No, god damn it, no.
I caught it on iPlayer, and it was rather amusing, I must say. Now, two YouTubers, Dan and Phil, have their own slot on BBC Radio 1, and for a little while they've been giving it away to other YouTubers. Tom Scar was the first one, and he did quite a good job, I thought. And I liked all the jingles and things that went with it, basically just slagging him off the entire time, which is funny. And right at the very end, he even played I Like Trains. They let him play the whole thing. And I thought, oh yeah, that's how you end it. Thanks, Tom Scar. You are the best. It might still be on the iPlayer, BBC Radio 1 iPlayer, if you want to check it out. But then Dan, because I've been following Dan Is Not On Fire, who's one half of Dan and Phil, for quite some time.
Yeah.
And now I've started following Amazing Phil as well, because his videos are still just as funny. And they've started up their own gaming challenge, their own gaming channel. And I was like, everybody's doing it. And they decided to have a versus leaderboard type thing. So when they play competitive games, they can actually see who's winning. And the first game, first competitive game they played was Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the PS1.
Oh,
I laughed my tits off. It was hilarious. So much swearing, considering they don't normally swear in the YouTube videos. They're so rude. But after the Mean Bean Machine video, Mr. Xavier,
oh yes.
what rating, eh, kids?
Sorry, I swore a lot.
A lot. That's like saying the Catholic Church has abused a lot of boys. There was so much rudeness in that video. Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna have to see what the closed captions was for that. That would be hilarious. Oh, and I put on Facebook September 18th, 1986, an important date for Felix. Don't know why. I'm gonna wait to see if somebody else tells me what that's for.
Okay.
You know, I never did get that slap, Pete.
Well,
Prompt Alex.
He can't do it. I just too
He
wussy.
can't wussy slap you.
Nope. I
He's
the
too
whole
wussy to wussy slap you.
sort of wussy
oh, there's an irony, isn't there?
slap. Wait, what?
He can bitch slap you, but he can't wussy slap you.
Go figure. So yeah, busy week has been busy. Mr. Xavier, what about your week?
Mostly filled with work, same as yours. Although I caved
We just
under
established mine
the pressure
wasn't.
of wanting to play, and I picked up Destiny earlier in the week,
Yeah.
along with a copy of Season 1 of Arrested Development, because I thought,
Why not?
I've got some money, I want to buy some entertainment, so I'll get Destiny and Arrested Development.
As you do.
Yep. Well, Arrested Development was only a tenner, and Destiny was expensive.
Yeah, Destiny is hella expensive. And you
Jeez.
should do what Alex didn't get the disc-based version somewhere cheap.
Yes.
But
And
did
I
you
got
do
the
that?
PS3 version.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that later. Mostly my week's been playing that, catching up with YouTube videos.
Yeah,
Because,
but-
like everything else, it's like I spend some time away from the internet and suddenly everything happens. So it's like,
Yeah, all of the YouTube
Fuck
videos
you.
update, and it's like, oh shit, now I've got to... And I follow a lot of people, I don't know about you, Pete, but I follow a lot of people on YouTube, so when they all decide to update at the same time, it's like watching a whole day's worth of catch-up telly all at once.
yeah,
It's like, yeah, thanks guys, I love you. I don't-
Steam's telling me I've got games on my wish list for on sale. No.
He always tells me that when I have, the hard choice of, but I want to eat this week.
And my phone is telling me there is no signal. It says none, no signal.
Oh no.
But there's a good reason for that. Because it's not my new phone. I have a new phone. It is shiny and pretty and doesn't have a Yanka background, sadly. Which makes me
Yeah,
sad.
I like how
it's gone.
my week is about his phone.
Yeah,
I know, right? You should be honoured.
totally.
Yeah. Weekend wasn't too bad. I managed to get down for Friday for roleplay, saw TK, and we did some retro gaming.
We did, and it was good.
Oh yeah, and I had a fucking cold all week.
Oh,
They were
that
just
must
sat
have
around flicking their beans.
Yes. And then headed off, saw Julia for
Well, you're not joking.
Sunday, which was nice, and I'm back here,
As you do.
as you do.
Right.
And meanwhile, shiny.
Alright, TK, just remember to put my phone on charge. TK.
Does yours blink when it's charging?
It's probably blinking because it's on low battery still.
Help me!
Is it a
Help
red or an
now.
orange light?
Ready orange.
That was super helpful, thank you.
It's the dying light.
It should be fine. Give it about 10 minutes.
The
it'll stop
charging
blinking.
source connected to your BlackBerry cannot charge your battery.
Ah!
What?
Yeah.
You be fucked, boy.
It's not charging my phones either.
Is
What?
that fucking cable again?
No, it's a different one.
He seems to have problems with cables today.
And light bulbs.
I don't actually dare shift in my seat in case the spotlight goes out.
Yeah, it's quite temperamental.
Because I turned on the main lights, I went, I should probably be lit.
And it went, no, you shouldn't. Pop.
Ooh.
I forgot to put the fuse cover back on.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It can sit there. Looking all
Well, at least it does look like he's in a well-lit room now, and very, very, very pale.
Yeah, well, there's a brilliant white light as opposed to the kind of orangey one you normally get.
I am pretty pale in general.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He's
look at the
reflecting.
glare coming off my forearm.
So basically what it means is I need to find 2 power supplies. Bear with me a second.
It's pink, black, red, white.
How very patriotic. Put somewhere.
Oh man, so yeah, that's pretty much been my week really. Now I've been paid, I'm probably expecting to get a bit more stuff done. Well, bought anyway.
I'm still looking into buying some audio treatment for my bedroom.
Sorry.
What? I'm still getting some reflection issues, so I'm just gonna sort of seal off a corner of my bedroom. Because I've got blanket permission from the landlord to do whatever I need to. So what I might do is I might just put in a couple of absorbent panels and then a shower curtain railing around the corner. So I can just drape some audio sound blankets along.
You mean sheets?
Probably something a bit thicker.
Covers?
Probably something a bit lighter.
Duvet covers with no duvet in them. I could do this all day, Peerless, because we're having to fill because TK's not in his little box.
he's doing something. He's just hunched over and I can see an arm moving back and forth.
All I can see is his fan going to and fro. Yeah. It's fascinating radio, isn't it? It's brilliant. Long gaps filled with talk about what we can see on the YouTube channel, which has a 30-second delay.
Like, if the reverb was on, I could just fill it with a bad joke. But
you are a bad joke. Ha
TK is probably reaching for the reverb right now. Is he? Oh.
I can hear him in his chair.
No. He's clicking at things in the doorway. Ooh. Yes.
There's the reverb.
For this filler, please listen to these hypnotic tones. Wah, wah, turtles, wah.
He will hurt you.
I'm done, TK. Yeah, am I? Yay.
Yeah, we're so professional on
There's
Tiger
always
Tales
that
Radio. So
moment
yeah,
where-
this is Tiger Tales Radio, Season 8, Episode 26. You can find us on tigertales.co.uk or tigertalesradio.co.uk, although all of the things have changed and I can't remember what they are.
And you get a subdomain, and you get a subdomain.
Well, we've updated the websites, and I know we're on Facebook and Twitter and Google+.
Indeed.
Damned if I know what the new sites, because our website crashed. No, our website got taken over by other people.
Did it?
I have no idea. Something happened, so we're no longer on our normal thing. But we do have tigertalesradio.co.uk. We do have tigertalesgaming.tigertales.co.uk. Eventually, we'll have done and dusted, so I can start writing about things again.
Oh,
Prod.
writing.
Hint.
Always fun. Why am I suddenly a munchkin from the Wizard of Oz?
What do you mean suddenly?
Our vengeance will be terrible and swift.
That wasn't a munchkin, that was something else.
Yeah, I think you suddenly angered the whole Lollipop Guild. You could just sort of like wake up one morning, you just hear them in the distance chomping towards us going, oh, yo.
We're really cross-referencing, really, aren't we?
We are. No, that was Wizard of Oz, the yo thing. But then you also had the Lollipop Guild was Wizard of Oz, wasn't it?
The Lollipop Guild was the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, and the Munchkins also had that voice.
But I don't remember the Yo-Yo song being in Wizard of Oz.
No, tell me what it was.
It was a Yo-Yo.
Yo! Which then segs into the fucking battle song from Lex. Yo, way, yo. Oh god, why is that even still in my head?
I don't know. Why
I
is
was
that
a
still in your head?
teenager the last time I watched Lex.
You're still a teenager.
Yeah, let's go with that. I have been stealing a lot of youth lately.
Not from me.
That's what she said.
Oh.
Not really, she's too busy being drained.
Oh.
That's also what she said.
That's so rude.
Oh, I am so getting bitch slapped.
That's only Alex's job.
Which one? We've already established some of them are too wussy for the role.
Epic nerf battle.
Yeah.
You do realise he won't listen to the show, so we're
Exactly.
fairly confident.
Oh no, I usually listen when I'm not around.
You'd be usually around.
Not last week, because the migraine was...
Intense.
Yeah, I felt like throwing up.
But you didn't, yes?
I didn't, no.
Good boy.
I'm not sure
That's
if that's
always
a
a
good
plan.
thing or a bad thing, really.
Well, did you
Well-
create little chunks of nasty all over the floor?
No, but when you feel
Then
that
it's probably
way
a
for
good
that
thing.
long, you're just sat there going, come on, just get it over and done with.
Just kill me already.
So now that TK's returned,
Yeah.
are we safe to say that we can move on to our next segment?
I wouldn't say safe. For some reason, my phone is refusing to charge.
Have you put in the right cable?
Yes.
Then you're buggered.
It seemed to be charging. And
Not on camera, he's not. We haven't set the filters.
Yeah. What, you mean sepia? I don't know why it's not charging. It can't have blown already, surely.
Uh-huh.
Take it back to Vodafone tomorrow and go,
I won't be
oi!
able to hear Pete for a second because my headphones need detangling. He just said something bad, didn't he?
Nah, you're alright. No, I was just not on.
No, I can actually tell when the volume is actually so high that I can actually hear Pete laughing.
Ah, bless.
When my headphones were down there.
All the way.
So whilst Felix has no headphones in, shall we move on to Done and Dusted? Done and Dusted. We haven't done Done and Dusted. Gaming news.
Why not?
Now it's time for the latest gossip from the Silicon Grid. This is the gaming news.
Yeah, how professional are we? We can't even fill silence, and we barely get the first segment going.
Well, we're on time. We're doing good.
Well, we're 3 minutes late, but
Bum, bum, bum.
So, gaming news. This is where we trawl through the internet and pull out bits and pieces that we like the look of and bring to you, our lovely listeners and viewers. First off, Mojang officially announces the Microsoft deal,
Yep.
and he has confirmed that the studio is going to be acquired for $2.5 billion.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of money, isn't it?
That's a stupid amount of money.
and Notch is actually leaving, so he's taking the money.
Yeah.
From him. There's a letter to read out about that.
I wouldn't bother. It's one of those weird-ass letters that it's a case of, I'm terribly sorry to leave,
The gist of
without
the letter
making the
is,
point of
"Oh
it's
my
2.5 billion.
My god, this is too big for my beard, and people hate me for things I didn't do because I'm ostensibly the head of the company. So, later, bitches.
Thanks for the money!
It's a smart move by Microsoft because it's an IP that you don't have to touch. They say they're going to break even by July 2015. That's 2.5 billion acquisition where they break even next year.
Yeah.
That's how popular and good in terms of money this is. They're not going to touch it. And Mojang, the studio, hasn't had another good release like Minecraft since Minecraft.
That's because the pressure of developing a game is just so, well,
No,
pressuring.
Notch has worked on games that have been. Notch was in the initial development of Scrolls,
Yep.
and the little Quake-like space shooty arena game that he wanted to do, which is still in
Yep.
development.
But neither have really had the same grip
No.
that Minecraft has, even with all the work they did on Scrolls to try and get it to be a proper card collecting game kind of thing. That kind of got steamrolled by Hearthstone and Magic.
Oh, they've tried to nerf the 2 most powerful cards in Hearthstone. It hasn't had much effect.
Yeah, I can pretty much tell you that it won't because they're still stupid.
I don't know what 2 cards there are, but I'm assuming you would.
I can probably guess, but to be honest, you won't be able to because that game is horribly broken.
Like
but
Hearthstone.
Microsoft has also confirmed it's going to continue supporting Minecraft on the PlayStation, which is good because it managed to eventually get released on PS4
And
in the last 2 months.
Yeah, apparently the Vita release is still on schedule for releasing.
The Vita and PS4 editions will be getting quite a lot of the content that was added for the 360 version by default. But that's nice. Or so the word goes.
So it'll be nice to see Microsoft having a decent acquisition and Minecraft continuing with an opportunity to have some decent support so you don't end up with patches that break the game.
Well, we haven't actually had a patch that's broken the game yet.
We've had a couple, which meant that there had to be a rollback.
Yeah, it's happened once or twice. But for the most part, it's people bitch about, oh, this has broken my game. Yes, it's one of the unstable builds that they do in between that you download at your own fucking risk.
So, any news from the Felis?
Yes. What's the date today? It's 15th, isn't it? Yes.
Yes.
Yesterday, the GameCube turned 13.
Hold on, I thought the GameCube was dead.
No, it's still been... Alex's GameCube is still getting used now.
Ooh.
Mostly for the same reason that I borrowed a GameCube, because fuck playing Zelda Twilight Princess on a Wii. To be fair, it has the unfortunate record of being Nintendo's lowest selling home console ever.
Oh well.
Wow.
Yeah, Project Dolphin kind of died.
Yeah, but
Which was a shame.
on the 14th September 2001, it was released in Japan, making it 13 years old yesterday. Speaking of birthdays...
Sorry, what? Oh, is it my turn now? So, do you like Doom?
No,
Do you like printers?
not really.
Do you like having Doom run on a printer?
Actually, yeah. What's that?
So
Do
can
you like printers? What a stupid... Who likes printers? They sit there, they print.
What, does that actually print out Doom as you're playing or something?
No, someone actually hacked a printer, as in hacking the software, to run Doom. And this was a security researcher who successfully hacked a Canon printer, the Pixma printer, because it can be accessed via the internet and you can actually upload its firmware. And he realised there was no password, nothing like that. So he spent a shed ton of time, his own free time, working on getting this sorted out so that he could then go to the hacking convention and then go, look, this is what I can do. It doesn't run very well and the palette is terrible.
Well,
But
yeah,
there
it's
is a
like,
running copy of Doom on a
You
printer.
know the Sansa Clip MP3 players?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with their, 5-color LED displays? You can get Doom to run on those.
True, but that's legitimate, not a complete
that
hack
also
that's
involves
got dumped on a
hacking,
printer.
that does involve custom firmware. But they're not attached to the Internet of Things, which is why your one is a bit more, impactful.
The most hilarious thing was, this was a BBC's news article that I picked up today, and it was like, that's hilarious. More Felis news.
Talking about game charts, but let's go for PC game charts, because those are awesome. Did you know that Skyrim is still one of the top selling games in the PC market right now?
What the fuck?
Yep. In this week, we got the difference between the two current game charts, usually the UK PC game charts, and you got the Steam PC charts. So the top games in the retail charts are The Sims 4, Diablo Reaper of Souls, Diablo 3, Elder Scrolls Online, WildStar in the top 5. Yep. Steam charts. Skyrim Legendary Edition, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Dead Rising 3, DayZ, and box standard Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Which, outside of 5th place, you then have Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. I was like, holy fuck, how old is Skyrim now?
3-4 years?
How does everybody not have... Skyrim is being modded to the point where we now have character models with scatter lighting. Next gen shit in this 5-year-old game?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a good long while.
And they've not released another Elder Scrolls game yet. That's the weirdest thing.
They have not released a single legitimate Elder Scrolls game since. We are all in agreement? Good.
Bit of news for TK.
Oh, yes.
Tekken 7 location testing to begin in October.
I know, in Osaka.
Yeah.
I've spent most of last night staying up because I couldn't sleep again, so I was just watching all the old Tekken FMVs, just re-immersing myself in the Tekken universe, so when the game is released and all the teasers and all the spoilers come out, I can be ready to absorb them. Because I didn't really pick up on Tekken 6 much.
No.
And so I thought I'll do some catching up. Because, yeah.
Yeah, so it's 2 locations, and this is Tekken 7 machines. Namco Bandai's own Shigamo store in Tokyo and Nippon Bashi in Osaka. Players who turn up for the location test will be awarded special Tekken 7 stickers and unique banner passport cards, which are used to manage information points and payments on various sites using a single ID.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, I'll return momentarily.
Apparently, as well as arcade versions, the studio will be bringing the Unreal Engine 4 powered fighter to Xbox One and PS4.
Yep.
And they also are asking feedback about introducing a new Arab character into the game.
That's right.
Which is weird, because I would never have thought Namco Bandai to actually do that. You know, ask for feedback on a character.
That's what they do. That's the actual head of Tekken, whose name I can't remember, has gone on record to say that the main Tekken series is released in arcades first,
Yeah.
so they can actually get the feedback from the players about it, and basically rebalance the characters, make sure everything is nice, balanced, fair, and even, aside from the end boss, for the home releases. So yeah, Namco, with the Tekken franchise and the Soul franchise, actually listen to the fans. They take all the input, take it on board, and actually use it for game balancing and, you know, nerfing the features that don't work and bringing out the features that do. In fact, that was one of the reasons behind Tekken Revolution. It was an experiment, really, to try and get new players into the Tekken experience. And so that's why you had things like the critical hits that were coming up randomly and things like that. But they said that the random features are going to be either removed or toned down for Tekken 7. And they want to make Tekken 7 more accessible, but they don't want to cheapen the game because of it. So they're they're toying with the idea of having a small selection of characters, more in tune for beginners, where things like frame data and stuff is not quite as important as normal.
Nice.
Whereas then you have the other characters who would be their kind of more advanced standard selves and things like that. So it's looking interesting.
It makes sense.
I mean, some people have requested things like frame data to be available because Injustice had frame data. So you could actually see what moves were safe, what moves were unsafe. My phone is finally rebooting. And
So, you don't say.
I had to figure out how to do a kind of a manual hard reset on it. So it's like, I don't know how well it'll work, but you know, at least it powers back up again.
At least it'll work.
Yeah, at least it isn't bricked. Android is upgrading. Oh, was that why you fucking died? Because you're in the middle of an upgrade.
Any more news from Felix?
I have plenty of news.
Jolly good.
Random geeky news.
Just while you're deciding the news, I just want to get an opinion on things. Going back to the Microsoft buying Mojang.
Yeah.
Well, I completely wasn't listening because I was too worried about my phone not working. Do you think, now that Microsoft have acquired Mojang, and therefore Minecraft, that we'll suddenly hear about Minecraft 2, and it's going to be an Xbox console exclusive.
I don't think they dare at that point.
No.
I can't think of any other Microsoft exclusive franchise that has that many people willing to get in their faces if they do something like that.
Because
also, again, it's 2.5 billion that they only will make next year. They won't have the money.
I'm not saying it's going to be rushed out immediately. What I'm saying is that they'll support Minecraft for a period of time to make it look like they give a shit, and then support also slowly dwindle until there's virtually no support left, and then all of a sudden Minecraft 2 exclusive to your Xbox One and maybe Xbox 360.
If they do it, then it's probably not going to sell anywhere near as well.
Of course it
I
won't.
think it will depend on how long the tail is for Minecraft anyway.
Well, you think about it, it's still going really strong.
Yeah, it's still going really strong because it's so moddable, and the community can get behind it and continuing to evolve it. So it grows with the times.
Although the people bitching about no mod API yet have been sat there going, oh, why is there no mod API? You said you don't work on it and we got nothing because we don't know what backend means.
It's going to be interesting. I'm not sure. But on completely different news, has anybody started mentioning about Smash Brothers on the 3DS yet?
Nope.
We're getting there, but I'm waiting on Felis.
You're waiting on me? Okay. Deadmau5 is in a legal battle with Disney right now.
What?
I'm not actually surprised by this either.
And yeah, TK's guessed the reason why.
Yeah.
It's over his headgear, and whether or not it bears too similar resemblance to the Disney logo.
That's the Mickey Mouse logo, not the Disney font symbol word Disney.
A couple of weeks ago, Disney filed a court claim that says that Deadmau5's logo is too similar to their famous Mickey ears, and they're trying to block him from keeping a trademark in the US. Of course, Deadmau5 has had this thing unchanged for 10, 11 years now.
Yeah, but he's been fairly underground.
Yeah.
So the House of Mouse has probably only just noticed. Because to maintain their trademarks, they have to go after him. Otherwise, if it deems that, it is too close and Disney didn't defend, they would then lose that trademark, so anybody could start using it.
Yeah.
So from that respect, their hands are kind of tied by the US legal system. So it's a case of as soon as you realise that there's a trademark out there that's
like
awfully similar to yours, if you want to keep yours, you go chasing.
Be surprised if anybody saw the Deadmau5 logo and went, oh my god, that's Disney endorsed.
Yeah, but like I say, they have to at least try. They have to show that they're making an effort to defend their trademark.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure how they can though, because whilst they do have the big paddle ears, there is a lot different.
Yeah, the ears are actually more equal to the head size, unlike the Disney logo. It's tilted completely differently, and it's bright red with shiny, glowy eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
kind of scary.
Pardon me. Excuse me, I'm slowly dying. My man flu is going, but it's taking its bloody time in doing so. And it keeps leaving me with these kind of frogs in your throat that make it sound like you only just hit puberty. It's like your voice will crack in the most amusing way.
Did you want to go on, Pete, or do you want me to do more things, or...?
Continue on, because that was barely really news.
It was. For the first time ever, EA Game have lost their rings because they touched a spike trap.
Yay!
For the first time ever, EA Games are going to be patching out a character completely from one of the Madden games. The new Madden 15 is already out.
I wonder who. I can't imagine.
I don't know. They were going to be removing all traces of the former Baltimore Ravens running back player, Ray Rice.
I wonder why.
In case people are wondering, this is the guy who was caught on video. It's surfaced of basically punching out his wife in an elevator, or soon-to-be wife at the time, and then just basically dragging her into the hallway and sauntering off.
As you do.
As you do, of course.
Perfectly ordinary thing. We do it all the time.
In fact, we should be making jokes about it, just like the fine folk at Fox and Friends. He should have taken the stairs, eh?
Oh ho ho!
Oh, yeah. The roster should have already been updated. Yeah. Oh, haha. One of the joke is, there goes your fantasy rating.
Dear God.
At the same time, EA is fixing another issue that's come up.
That's sure.
The EA gay name block.
What?
There's been an issue with The Sims 4 that people have noticed, where you can... It's their problem with their word filters. Essentially, you can make a Sims character and call him like Gay Tony. Or the queerest little hobo, or something like that. You're allowed to use that as a name. You are, however, not allowed to upload them to the character galleries online if they have such a name.
Makes
Because
sense.
it counts as being a forbidden word.
Okay.
Yeah.
An EA rep has come out and said, yeah, this is actually something we didn't intend to happen. The Sims have a long history of supporting stories that players want to tell, irrespective of gender preference or sexual preference. The gallery uses an automated filtering program that filters out certain words, including some of the ones that have already been mentioned. We're aware of this, and we're working on a fix which will be out soon.
Basically,
yeah.
it's going to be a student, isn't it? Or an intern just filtering names manually.
Yeah.
Is this offensive, yes or no?
No, they're just going to buy out another studio and put all the developers to work on the filters. Aha.
Why are people talking about poking me on Google Plus anyway?
Because
What?
it's fun. So moving on then, the Smash
not me
Brothers
this time.
3DS.
Oh, was that me?
It's you that time. Revenge!
Smash Brothers 3DS. So this is the new game on the 3DS. Apparently it requires the new 3DS to post to Miiverse while playing.
Yeah, I've got a few gripes with the new 3DS thing at the moment.
When they called it Smash Brothers 3DS, shouldn't they just call it Smash 3DS? Because that's what people seem to be doing.
Yeah, but apparently the current models of 3DS won't be able to handle the new game. Discovered by
What?
NeoGAF, anyone attempting to open the Miiverse while playing the Japanese version of Smash Brothers will receive an error message.
Yeah, there are also a few other upcoming games. That,
You can play Smash Brothers on the original 3DS.
Yeah, I've played it on Alex's.
You got the demo, huh?
Yes, he's got the demo.
Tell him not to play it too hard. He'll break his analog stick. Like everybody else that's been playing it. All the thousands and thousands of people now whining on the internet saying, "Oh, it broke my analog stick!" No, it didn't. You did, you peasant.
Smash Bros. Broke my analog stick. It just sounds like the geekiest country song of all time.
Although, leading on to the Miiverse, apparently there's a Miiverse exploit that sees players posting unauthorized images.
Yes, it lets you post any picture you want.
A number of risque images were visible on North American Mario and Luigi Dream Team Miiverse community for a period of time before they were deleted by administrators.
So you can put your porn on there.
Close.
Well,
Yep.
What do you mean close? You either can or you can't. It's not a close situation.
Oh no, yeah, you're right, yes, there's porn on there.
Of course there is. It's the fucking internet.
Well, the selection of images they have starts with probably oversized Samus. Okay, that's Princess Peach in a tiny top. That's just a bent over shot.
Princess Jumper.
Real woman in underwear. Real woman in boobs.
What?
Japanese woman with
She's
boobs.
in boobs.
And
What?
Japanese woman with bigger boobs.
She's in boobs. She's like wearing them like a sack or something. Is there another woman next to her?
Going, gosh, it's warm in here.
Apparently the screenshot feature is locked to the game in question. For example, anyone playing Zelda can only post screenshots to the link between worlds Miiverse community. The glitch occurred when players discovered that by using the internet browser or photo gallery app, then loading Mario and Luigi Dream Team by quickly pressing the home button as it started, were able to post screenshots from the internet browser or gallery to the Miiverse instead of screens from Mario and Luigi. There has been a patch released.
I wonder why.
Any further news from Felis?
I was going to say, on the 3DS slightly upgraded processor thing, one thing that hasn't been quite loudly touted by Nintendo is, Xenoblade Chronicles is coming out?
Yeah. Exclusive to the new 3DS.
Yeah, it can't be played on the previous 3DS.
Yeah, they did say this.
No surprise. Yeah.
They did say this in their press announcement. If you were paying attention to one of the translated ones, they did say it was exclusive to it. For reasons
And
that
a lot
it took
of the
advantage
new
of the new
games
features.
would be exactly the same thing. They wouldn't be able to be run on the old 3DS.
Which is sad.
Which is shit. It's like...
It sort of makes you wonder. They really are turning into Apple.
Yeah, they said they want... the head of Nintendo's kind of portable gaming division said that he actually liked that model and wanted to emulate it.
Let's see, we're going to give you underpowered software, which you'll buy on brand power. Our core fan base is the worst. yeah, they are Apple.
They are fast becoming Apple. And just gives you more reason not to like them, really. They're just riding on the wave of nostalgia. Eventually they'll piss off enough people before they'll get the message.
You think?
I'm just waiting for the new and improved Wii U to come out.
Any further news from Felis?
Much.
Just one more thing, sorry, just before I interrupt. This is another kind of talking point, really, more than news. The new 3DS with all the extra power. Is anybody else of the opinion that they're basically giving all this extra power so it can become a new screen for the Wii U? As in, they're going to do a PlayStation Vita remote play style thing.
Because they've only just added the option to use the Wii U Pro remote to navigate the menus properly. Even though the other remote thing could use its hardware buttons, but the other one couldn't for reasons.
I'm thinking that maybe
I'm
not
sure why,
too long in the future.
It's not even that much of a processor boost. And not a really significant one, anyway.
But it could be enough just to eke it into the same kind of league as the Wii U gamepad.
It's just enough to let it run HTML5 stuff.
So basically, it's now as powerful as some early touchscreen mobile phones.
Yes.
Ooh. But at least they improved the 3D a bit. It now tracks you like some creepy stalker. But yeah, I can see it happening, because while Vitas haven't exactly been flying off the shelves, the fact that they remote play quite nicely to the PS4 has been a good selling point for them. And I can see Nintendo going, that's a nice thing. Let us use this. Let us make the 3DS compatible and be like a companion device for the Wii U in the way that the Vita is a companion device for the PS4. This could be a thing. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with it. Watch this space, kids.
Because Sony at the moment are investigating giving the community more control over the Instant Games collection.
Ooh.
This is because every month, the last few months, people have been bitching endlessly about what's been on offer. It's like, oh, what's up with the fucking indie games and the side-scroller shooter and this other thing I don't like? Where are the AAA titles?
And it's like, yeah, everything you've got has got at least 70% on Metacritic. Fuck off.
Yeah. Well, in an interview with Joystick, the Sony Computer Entertainment American VP of Platforms Marketing, John Kohler, said, "We look at a variety of different things to deliver a lineup that will provide amazing shared experiences, including the most popular genres for our members and fan requests." Brian, stop that.
I'm so obedient.
We hear all the feedback and incorporate it as best we can in regards to the content and features we offer. One common request is for the community to have more direct control over the games that enter the Instant Game Collection. While there's nothing specific to announce about this right now, it's definitely an interesting idea and one that we are investigating. Our vision for PS Plus is to further encourage and enhance shared experiences on the platform, and games with strong multiplayer like Mercenary Kings and Resogun are advancing that vision. We want friends to have the same great games to play together, and the Instant Game Collection certainly helps to accomplish that, as will SharePlay when it comes to PS Plus members on PS4 this fall.
Yay!
And I was like, going,
Yay.
No. The only reasonable thing I see them doing with this is have a vote for a couple of games every month, and the rest of them we're still going to choose as we do usually.
I don't mind.
Because the thing I like about the PlayStation Plus at the moment is that, yeah, not all the games are going to be to my liking. There's quite a few that won't interest me.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
there's variety.
there is a huge variety going. There are a few games on PlayStation Plus I have played that I wouldn't have otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Just because they were there. It's part of the game. I'm going to try that out. Oh, fuck, this is great.
You see, I'm seriously considering now getting a 1 terabyte hard drive for my PS3.
Like, why is it a different season?
Just so I can install all of these PlayStation Plus goodies that I can't currently install because I don't have the space.
And I got a few friends who never really wanted to play Terraria until they just grabbed it for free.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess they've sunk days of game time into it.
and there's some good stuff on Plus at the moment. I mean, the Vita exclusive, I can't remember the fucking name of it now.
Terraware?
No, it's basically it's the new Tempest game.
Yes.
That's currently on the Instant Game Collection.
I still haven't grabbed this
That
month's
game is amazing.
treats.
I actually bought it with real money because it was cheap at the time. And yeah, hard as nails, but damn good fun.
Bear in mind that Sony have got to be doing something right because where is it? Excuse me. Since the PlayStation 4 launch, there have been a 200% increase in new PlayStation Plus subscriptions.
Yeah, well, that's
New.
good. It forces you to play online. Forces you to get it to play online. So
This is not existing subscriptions. This is actually new account subscriptions. But for quite a lot of games, if it's a free-to-play game, they'll generally let you play it online for free on the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
There's also quite a few games that you just pay like $10 just to get access for this game online. And some people might do that instead.
Mm-hmm. Online pass it.
Moving on then in terms of PlayStation news, the PSP PlayStation Store
Yep.
is now closed.
Is it?
Yep. You can no longer get access to it in Europe and Asia and some parts of Africa.
Oh, bugger. Sad times.
Yeah. Users will, however, still be able to purchase digital content for the handheld via the Sony Entertainment Network Online Store, accessible via any computer, and still be able to read down past purchases via the download list directly on the PSP menu.
Yep. Which I've used a few times.
Yeah.
And you can still
No
get the
word-
PSP games on your Vita as well.
Yep. No word on when the US PSP will go. It looks likely they'll be phasing out the near-decade-old PSP as it shifts focus completely to its successor, which I'll move on to, because Sony has now said it's found its niche, and this is the UK PlayStation head.
Yep.
And that's Managing Director Fergal Gara, not Andrew House, as I thought it might be.
No, because he's now head of PlayStation in Hull. He's basically sitting in Katarai's seat, going, "Bitch, I own y'all."
Apparently he's saying everything's trucking along. It's found its niche in the market as a device for gaming enthusiasts.
Not
It's
gamers.
It's currently in year-on-year growth and enjoying a healthy year, and it's about to hit its biggest but most potentially powerful release of the year, which is Minecraft. Yep, that's right. They don't see any further AAAs coming out on the PS Vita.
No, which is bullshit.
So, ironically, Microsoft now has the biggest game to come out on the Vita.
It's a shame because Persona 4, Final Fantasy X worked really well on the Vita.
Yeah, I still need to get Final Fantasy X for the Vita.
Killzone Mercenaries showed just how wonderfully quite a few AAA game engines could scale down and give you a really good experience.
They even make comment on those games and saying that they're not likely to see things like that come out in the future on the Vita.
Borderlands 2 has still got a few issues because they've ported the entire Willow engine, which has issues running on that hardware. But even Borderlands 2 on the Vita is still great to play. Why?
I don't mind. I like my Vita. I like the fact it does different things to my PS3. Basically, if I wanted a mini PS3, then I'd just get another PS3. But the fact that there's variety, the Vita will offer me a different experience to the one my PS3 gives me, is not something I'm going to be too upset about.
Well, it's probably good that they've done that because 50 exploits for the Vita firmware have just been leaked.
Cool.
You've seen how well, how far some homebrew gamers are willing to go.
Yep.
It looks like we actually had a rather nice high-resolution version of Desert Strike on the PSP.
Desert Strike?
Yeah.
As in that old Mega Drive game?
Yeah. Someone basically made their own version of that with nicer...
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there are 50 exploits at the moment. They're just being released from one of the major groups.
And that's the Vita, is it?
Yeah. They're all PSP user mode exploits.
PSP or
Doesn't
PSV?
surprise me.
PSP. 35 of which have been ported to the VHBL.
So basically, they're exploiting the Vita by getting at its PSP emulator again.
Yeah. The kind of exploits that currently work the best are ones that are still working on firmware 3.18.
I don't know what firmware I'm on. I'll normally update as soon as it comes out, because it's like, ooh, shiny new things, give me.
Yep. I think it's a shame though, because the Vita is still a really awesome thing, especially the older ones with decent screens. And I do still feel that Sony is pushing it further and further away.
It is. We had great games at launch. We had Uncharted. We had Gravity Rush, and although Gravity Rush's combat was a bit, that's just a mechanics issue. The rest of the game was really, really nice. I like that little world.
Yeah, it's just a shame they seem to be going more along the lines of we'll put it on anything rather than here's your device.
Pretty much said, this is the part where I said last year, I really, really fear that with the PS4 they're just going to turn it into a glorified controller. That's what
It's not even a glorified controller though anymore.
I mean, it has that facility. I mean, I like the fact that with some games there is that cross-play element as well.
I think most PS4 games can actually be streamed directly to it.
Yeah, they can. The wonderful remote play feature, which is what the whole Nintendo gamepad thing was doing for the Wii U. The difference between that is that you can actually take your Vita out with you and still remote play to your PS4.
Yeah, and Alex even tried it out, didn't he, with Infamous?
As long as there's an internet connection, you can. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. Obviously, the further you are away from your PS3 and the shittier your internet connection is, the lesser quality of experience you'll get.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad whilst he was still on the ground floor of our house when he was doing it.
But once you start losing your connection, then your mileage may vary.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't do it for any Twitch shooters or fighting games, that's for certain.
I remember playing on my PS3, using the PSP, sitting outside the Apple store, leeching off their free Wi-Fi, and getting reasonable results. Not brilliant, but reasonable. Tekken 1 was just about playable. As I was streaming Tekken 1 from my PS3 onto my little PSP, going, fuck technology, this is amazing!
But we're now going to see that done by PlayStation Now, only with rental charges.
Yeah. Still not... I don't know how I'm happy about that.
Even though they're still in beta and they've reduced the prices, some of their rental charges are still way too much.
As in, they exist, yeah.
Well, I see some people that are given the thing where I've, bought a digital copy of this game. It still exists as a thing on my account. Why am I being charged to rent it?
Yeah, that's something they need to fix.
I'm sat there, half of the opinion of, well, you bought it for that specific console. But on the other hand, it was a digital purchase that they should have no problem going, oh, you own this game. Here you go, stream it.
Exactly. I mean, the same with disc-based games. If you put the disc in your system, I reckon that there should be a thing that then tags it as being one you own. And as long as you've got the disc in there when you want to play it on another device via PlayStation Now, or for instance, you put a PS2 disc in, the console can't natively play that. So it should read the disc, recognise what the game is, and then unlock that on PlayStation Now for you.
Or it recognises the disc, registers it, downloads the game onto the console so you can then stream it to your device.
This is why I'm just looking forward to the Kickstarter games that I've got for the Vita that are coming out this year.
We'll then call the company Xbox. And everyone will bitch about that idea.
You see, my PS2, I know that a lot of games aren't supported on the PS3 or PS4. So I just stuck a hard drive in my PS2 and then copied all the games to that. Then I can play them without the loading times. Because fuck loading times. Yeah,
Except on some games which actually force the loading times.
Not many of them. I mean, Soul Calibur 2 is amazing. It's like, press X, it's booted. I didn't even get time to let my character do the little funny voice. Oh.
Have you got anything further, Felix, for gaming news?
Plenties. Telltale Games are working on a cloud-based game delivery system.
Who? Them as well?
Yeah.
Who?
Telltale Games.
Oh, I thought you said... For some reason, I don't know where I got it from. I heard Amazon. I was like, going, what? Wait, they aren't they?
No?
I think
Everybody is.
I
That's
think
the
Amazon
thing.
is doing a
Everybody's
games thing
doing
as
it
well.
now.
But yeah, basically they're working on a cloud-based delivery system because their fans have asked them, could we please have the ability to continue a game from one of the platforms we play it on another platform? Because you have the
Makes
exact
sense.
same game on most of the platforms. I mean, The Walking Dead looks and plays exactly like it does on my tablet, as it does on the PS3 or the PC. Ditto with Wolf's Tale when Amazon let go of their stranglehold on it. It'd be great to just go, TK playing. I'm going to play the, Monkey Island on here, and then I'm just going to go switch over to my Vita and play Monkey Island on there. With
The
same
main
save.
problem I can see is the licenses of the separate companies that involve the platforms. Because if you can get the save files compatible, I don't see an issue. But it's the fact that it's different companies with different platforms.
Well, it won't be a problem with Sony.
That wouldn't be a problem because they're not doing anything extra to the game itself. It's just the save file, which is
It would
something
be,
the company
it would be a
has no-
problem with Microsoft, because Microsoft, the Xbox Live is a closed network, so nothing external can get in. So they wouldn't have a way of being able to cloud it with that. But
Well, there is.
the PlayStation
You
Network, however...
Set up you can set up so you have a save file that you import.
Yeah, but you'd have to find a way of getting it into the Xbox Live network.
Yeah.
No, you just put it directly into your Xbox.
What, on a USB stick?
Yeah.
That does kind of defeat the object of the cloud.
The cloud.
Genius.
It's a way of doing it around the network.
That's like
Or
saying-
if it's via a
And
website.
How
then
are you
surely-
gonna? Yeah, you have your thing. I suppose you could, from your tablet, beam it to the cloud, then download it on your PC to plug it into your Xbox via a USB stick. But that does seem like an awfully long way round to do a simple thing. Just because
I
Microsoft...
point to Sony and how they organise most of their ways of getting content onto their systems.
Yeah, we normally just download it straight from the store, or we
Yeah,
take
not
it straight from the
store
internet.
stuff. Everything else we wanted to get on there.
I usually just dump my saves up onto one thing and then download them to another thing.
Yeah, I uploaded
Like
my
Borderlands 2. My save is there for both the PS3 and the Vita versions.
Indeed. My...
That's on one network, though. What you're talking about is across multiple platforms, multiple things.
Yeah, but bear in mind that the Walking Dead engine,
Okay, Pete.
the Telltale Games storytelling engine, is the same on every platform it's on. Which means there's no problem with the same save file working across all the different platforms.
And it's not too difficult to get things out of the Microsoft network. It's just difficult to get Microsoft Live, Xbox Live network. It's just difficult to get things in. I mean,
Even if it wasn't a standard file format for the save game, for something like an adventure game, the save file can actually be as simple as a text pad file with just read, action, 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 item, item, item.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, so a website you can get access to via the Xbox and then save it onto your saves on the Xbox and then
yeah,
boot
but
up.
Microsoft wouldn't allow that.
No.
Because don't forget, their web browser isn't technically a true web browser. It still goes through the Live network.
I've
They
never
don't want-
used it really,
They don't want
so
you filthy peasants using their internets for malodorous needs. Whereas, the PSN is nice and open. Okay, it makes it slightly more vulnerable, but on the plus side, we get a lot more freedom. That's one of the reasons why the superhero game, I can't remember the name of now.
DC Online.
Yeah, it was crossplay between PlayStation and PC.
Yeah.
Because the PlayStation network was open and you could do that. Whereas Xbox Live is a closed network, so you couldn't. They wouldn't allow it. They were like, nope, fuck you. No cross-party with you, fuck off. They were happy to do it with the PC, but they wouldn't want to do it with PlayStation. Whereas Sony were like, yeah, we didn't give a shit. But then any project that was supposed to be crossplay between the PC and the Xbox didn't happen anyway, because Microsoft then decided they were going to get all touchy about how much access to PlayStation Live you could get from outside of the network, effectively. And they decided to go not do it and just say no to everything. Peasants.
Any further news from Felix?
You just want to do all of the news this week, don't you?
I've got one article left.
Quick question, Felix, since you can Google faster than I can on your machine than I can on mine.
And my Google Foo is indeed strong.
PlayStation 4, Grand Theft Auto 5, will allow you to import your saves from the PS3 version or the 360 version. Can you quickly Google Foo if the Xbox One version will do the same?
I already typed in PS4 there.
Because that would be interesting to know.
All I'm getting is GTA 5. You meant to say 5, right?
Did I say 4?
GTA 5.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant 5. Sorry. With the forthcoming shiny releases on the Xbox One, PC, and PS3. Oh, PS4.
I've already got a thing. Let me read through it.
Wow, what great radio we've done.
Yes.
So the Xbox One can...
The Xbox 360 and PS3 both have save transfer.
Mm-hmm.
PC version will have all previously released downloadable content plus a video editor.
Ooh. So can the Xbox One retrieve that data from a PS3?
Oh, not from a PS3. Why would it do it from a PS3? They only do it across their own generations.
Because PS4 can take it from PS3 or from Xbox 360.
Like I say, maybe doing it the other way around as well, but I can't see any...
Because Sony were very kind of keen to point that out. It's like, hey, you should get our version of it because, hey, you've been playing it on the Xbox 360, right? That's okay. You can bring your save with you. It's fine. That got a lot.
You can transfer online characters and progression from PS3, Xbox to Xbox One. So I'm assuming, yes, you can do the same thing vice versa.
PS3/360 saves will transfer to Xbox One.
They will.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm guessing it's because a lot of this is on GTA servers.
Yeah, Rockstar servers.
Because that every time when you
The Rockstar Cloud.
you did the character generator
Mm-hmm.
or any character stuff via that, you would pump it up to the server for that. Same with what Saints Row did. So as soon as you then logged in on a different machine under the same account,
Yeah.
do you want to use your character? Yes,
Fuck
yes, I would.
Yes, duh. Ask me again,
right.
stupid person.
That's why Microsoft want Minecraft.
What?
They've been trying to break into the mobile market for fuck knows how long without much success.
And now Minecraft's their key.
And yeah, Minecraft being one of their more successful mobile games out there.
Well, that's one of the theories that's been pumped out that way. But then, like I said, they'll break even in next year, so
It doesn't matter.
they're just going to
'cause
leave it alone for a year.
in like a fortnight time, Sarkozian woman will just say that Minecraft is misogynistic anyway and we shouldn't be playing it. And it will all
Well,
die.
yeah, clearly. You shear sheep and kill them for mutton.
No, you don't. There's no mutton in sheep in Minecraft. You only get the wool.
Lamb.
You
Lamb. Yes,
make,
there is.
You make all those sheep naked. How
You've
could you?
not played for a while.
When did they introduce mutton?
They haven't introduced mutton.
So-
They have.
They have?
You've not played for a while, Felix. What the fuck? Are you seriously telling me I'm the only one out of the three of us who's gone on recently and updated the fricking Minecraft program?
Ooh.
There are banners. There is mutton. My God.
When did this become
Comes
a
to
thing?
something when...
Oh, wow. The thing that's only been introduced officially in the last week.
Sheep will drop 1 to 2 raw mutton upon death unless it's on fire.
No, the last fortnight. It was actually officially added.
On June the 30th. Oh, that was when
No,
the
it
pictures
wasn't.
were leaked.
Yeah, it's been in the snapshots for a while, but I tend to stay away from those because I've got servery stuff that I don't want to fuck up with the snapshots and have
Yeah,
to redo the
likewise.
world. So it was only released at the beginning of this month.
So that was what?
2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on top of the news. Wow.
Oh, go you. Normally a shade of purple.
So, lastly from me then.
Yeah, go on
Destiny earns. Here we go. Destiny earns Activision $500 million on day one.
Which surprises nobody.
It surprises me because that's exactly the same number they said that it cost to make it.
Yeah. It shows that $500 million was spent to make it because it does nothing new.
Yeah.
That much money spent, you can't afford to innovate.
I mean, GTA 5 was like 100 million, and that reaped it back pretty much same day, so... It doesn't really surprise me that Destiny did it, because they spent a lot of time hyping Destiny, whereas GTA 5 kind of hyped itself.
Pretty much.
But then, it's Activision.
What I love is all of the Destiny players going, haha, stupid PC master race, can't play it. No,
Yes.
but if you want your story, you're going to have to come to us.
No, they can't play Destiny. However, they can play Titanfall.
No, but if you want the story, you have to go to a PC
Why?
or your tablet.
Oh, yes, because all of the bloody
Basically,
information is on Bungie.net.
Yeah, every single piece of story is in your Grimoire cards, which
Yeah.
when it pops up like a bottom of the screen advert on YouTube.
Okay.
In order to find out what that Grimoire card says, you can't go in-game to something like the Mass Effect Codex. No, you actually have to go to the Bungie wiki,
Why?
Yep.
because that's where the
'Cause
story
that's where all the
information
story
is
is.
held.
Yeah, but why did they do that?
I
they're
don't know.
retarded.
Again, this is why I said, TK, this is the same Bungie that brought us Myth and Myth 2. How?
500 million! That's all I'm going to say. That's almost as bad as the Final Fantasy IX guidebook, where the entire guidebook was, there's a boss fight coming. To find out how to defeat it, go to our website.
It's almost as bad as Final Fantasy 13 going, by the way, if you don't know anything that's going on, read the in-game thing.
Yeah, read this encyclopedia in Gamica.
Although
At least that was in
we'll get
the
back
game,
to
though.
The first
Destiny.
two-
Have you got any news to finish with?
Ooh, you want to finish with something.
Breaking news, TigerTails Radio ends gaming news segment with news that they're ending the gaming news segment.
Well, actually, yeah, seeing as we're speaking of Destiny, Destiny itself has been receiving either flawless or pretty low review scores,
Depending on who bought the review.
depending on...
sorry.
Yeah, the majority of people are sat there going, as far as the hype goes, this is the biggest disappointment of 2014. Not that it's not a good game, it's just nowhere near what was promised. In fact, it's an average of 5.
It's a solid shooter that we've all seen
The
before.
developer behind Order 1866, the co-founder of Ready at Dawn Studios, has said that any review score for Destiny under 8 is ludicrous. It deserves more just for the scope and art of the game.
Yeah, we'll talk about this later in Done and Dusted.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do I get to reuse my description of it that I gave to TK earlier?
Go on, then.
Yeah.
I take it you're reviewing Destiny, then?
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
Well, actually, speaking of Final Fantasy 13, the thing I've heard most about Destiny is the same excuse I heard for Final Fantasy 13. Oh, no, but once you get to the endgame content, it's really, really good. You just got to spend 10 to 15 hours to get there.
Yeah, well, in Final Fantasy 13, that wasn't the endgame content. That was when the game actually fucking started.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway,
25-hour training mode, kids. Hope you enjoy that. Fuck.
finishing the news from Felis, or is that it?
Oh, and has anybody noticed certain websites being very, very slow over the last week or so?
Are they getting hacked again? Well,
No,
DDoSed.
this is quite a few of the major.
Oh, is this
internet
the
things.
protest?
Yes, the protest, which actually nobody gave a shit about because it was very poorly designed.
Yeah.
Because mostly it was a banner pop-up ad that most people just dismiss out of hand. Essentially, quite a few websites, Netflix, the Mozilla browser, quite a few others, have been simulating what it would be like if the dual-lane speed internet under the FCC anti-neutrality regulations came about. So they've been simulating the slowdown and telling people this is what your internet could be like. Do you really want that net neutrality thing to, still be here?
Yeah, you do, kids.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome to
Do you
dial-up.
really want Mass Effect internet? Wait, when I say it like that, it sounds cooler than it actually is. So basically, in Mass Effect, if you want to send an email or Skype with somebody, you'd have to pay for a priority burst transmission, whereas the military and the politicians get all of the real-time access to everything.
Of course.
So your standard settler somewhere could try to send a message to a friend and have it arrive 3 weeks later in a separate galaxy.
So what you're saying is that in Mass Effect, their email is basically handled by Royal Mail.
Yes.
Well, the daft thing is that makes more sense than some sci-fi messaging services.
I will hear.
And since when did we hit Sci-Fi Channel? What the hell?
I will hear no further slandering against Ursula Le Guin's Ansible. They're the first sci-fi thing with the real-time, faster-than-light communication. Been referenced in so many other sci-fi since.
Dear God. I think we need to move on then to Done and Dusted.
Hypocrite. Okay, just for you, Pete, we'll change segment. He's so demanding.
It's that time where the cast of TigerTails Radio reviews stuff badly. This is Done and Dusted.
Sir, Pete stole my thing.
He talked in the jingle, I heard him.
So this is Done and Dusted. This is where we will quite happily just kick around and do various bits and pieces and give you a review on what we have done. I, if you may be aware, have done Destiny.
We did. We've established that just before Done and Dusted.
I have watched an awful lot of Destiny being played.
So you're going to chip in, are you?
I'm going to chip in where it's relevant with, you know, how things have felt thus far.
Whereas my experience of Destiny was the trailer at E3. That's it. That's all my exposure. So I don't know fuck all about Destiny.
Yeah, you weren't even in the room when I was playing the demos.
No.
Not demos, but alphas and betas.
My care level is about as much as, well, how much care is zero, really? To coin an American stupid phrase, I could care less. Which is grammatically incorrect, and if you use that, you need to set your head on fire.
You could actually care less about it.
Dear God.
Oh, how? Because my care level is currently at 0. For me to care less, I would actually have to care some. But I don't. So...
But you're caring enough to state that you care less, which means you could care less.
And TK, what are you going to do for Done and Dusted?
I am going to review a little film that I watched on YouTube with Hedgie called Comic Book the Movie.
Ooh.
Yeah. Didn't expect that, did you, bitch? Man, I'm not going
to... Which bitch were you talking to?
Well,
all of the bitches.
Any bitch who didn't expect that. I know we're going to find out it's not called that, isn't it?
Well, you double check that. I will start then with Destiny, because I picked this up last week, and this was the PS3 version. I've played the PS4 alpha and beta.
One thing about the graphics on the PS3 version as opposed to the PS4 version.
They're there?
What do I think of the graphics?
Well, the graphics are actually perfectly good for a PS3 game.
Do you want to know what I said to TK the first time I talked about the difference between the graphics and the PS4?
Go on.
Hang on. If you've not yet seen our playthrough, well, I say playthrough, our gaming session on Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine over on the TigerTails gaming channel, then, spoiler alert!
Yeah, this is the best advert to buy a PS4 in the world. Because, my God, when you play the PS4 version first and then play the PS3, it's like playing a PS1 game. It's like, oh my God. It's like...
It's not quite that bad. Remember, I'm one of the people that remembers Cloud Strife's Popeye arms.
All of the pretty went. All of the pretty. The junkyard was ugly and terrible.
It's a junkyard. It's not supposed to look pretty.
It looked worse.
That's like saying, oh, that mold looks disgusting. It's mold. Of course it did.
Dear God.
Duh.
But the difference is shocking when you actually compare it.
I do like how very distant buildings are actually slightly faded out instead of in crisp, perfect detail all the time, because the latter is not how real life works.
Wait, you've got a digital copy, have you, Pete?
No, I got this copy.
Oh, you got a disc. So what we need to do is get Alex's PS4 back here. You bring the disc with you, and we can actually do a video and have a little side by side look, and then you can go, look, it's a PS1 game, and then we can put a PS1 game on and show you, no, it really isn't.
You'll cry. You will cry. I mean, maybe my TV hasn't done the best of things on it, but my God,
I've seen the difference myself. They're different. It's just I don't see that much of a horrifying thing to it.
I don't think the difference is going to be quite as apparent as the original Tomb Raider on PS1 compared against Tomb Raider on the Sega on the Sega Saturn. Both were moderately similarly powered consoles, and oh my God, the Saturn version looked appalling in comparison. And somehow I don't think the difference is going to be quite as shocking. Probably noticeable, but probably not quite as shocking.
Well, there's a reason why I started with the graphics, because normally I don't start with the graphics. The main reason is that's the only difference between all of the different versions. The graphics
pretty much
will be bad on current gen. The next gen, they will be shiny as hell.
They'll be as good as any other game of that gen.
I've seen better PS3 games. I really,
you are not
really have.
Yeah, but the things that are made specifically for the PS3.
Yeah, true. But
it's certainly not the worst PS3 game I've seen on the system.
I mean,
by any stretch.
A lot of people complain about its gameplay, but Final Fantasy 13 looked fucking amazing on PS3.
Oh, yeah,
and that's now reasonably old.
Awesome.
And the majority of the differences were in the lighting engine being used. So
GT is a perfectly good example because that's photorealistic in places. This is nowhere near photorealistic. But graphics aside, the gameplay is what you want to then start talking about because there's no difference for the gameplay across all the things. You may have slight differences from the controllers.
Do you want to give a rundown of the gameplay as I've seen it thus far?
Well, I'll do a brief intro because I've started on the planet Earth and the Moon. I've not done any multiplayer. I've done one
the single-player
strike.
multiplayer, as I've seen it so far, basically goes: you wander through an empty corridor area or wide open area, come to a choke point, fight some enemies. Go to another area, come to a choke point, fight some enemies. Then Peter Dinklage needs to hack a door or get some information, so you defend him against 3 waves of enemies and then a bigger boss character. Rinse and repeat for your other 5 missions on this planet.
It does kind of feel that way when you go through it.
There are no other objectives at all.
Oh no, there are no other objectives. You are literally killing everything, and there is no defense in this game. You can leave your ghost to do whatever the hell it wants. You're just surviving.
Indeed.
But in terms of the gameplay, what I'm talking about is the day-to-day shooting, the movement around the map, and what it feels like to play the game. Because it's a solid shooter. You've got some good response from the guns. You've got some good response from your characters. There are jetpacks in it, but this is no Titanfall.
Well,
there's no real sense of speed.
Different ways of getting around. One character has a jetpack. Another one has a gravity manipulation thing. And they all actually play slightly different. I've noticed what Alex has been playing. He is a warlock at the moment.
Yeah.
And when you use gravity boost with warlock, I don't know if Alex has noticed this, but I've noticed that you don't press it at the apex of your jump to get the most out of it. You press it, you double tap jump as quickly as possible to get the most out of your gravity boost.
Yeah, there is a tip that talks about that.
Yeah, as opposed to the Titan, who does have the rocket pack, you have to do it at the apex of his jump to get the most out of it.
Yeah, there's some slight, subtle variances in the
you do get
moving
different
about.
versions. The Sun Giver, isn't it?
Sunslinger.
Sunslinger, yeah, gets. I think the Sunslinger gets the same teleport power that all of the level 5 mooks get.
The Blink is the Warlock one.
Blink is really weird because it's you blink in whichever direction you have momentum in. It feels wrong. I'm used to games where you go, okay, I blink in the direction of my cursor. This may be because I played Dishonored again lately. I don't know.
Dishonored, yes.
And any other game that has a teleporty power is usually you know this version instead of conservation of momentum.
Mm. But then there are slight differences in the characters, and the characters you play are slightly different.
You basically have your warrior, your rogue, your rogue, your wizard. as far as I
Well,
understand
it's not even that. The Titan is attack or defense, and
he
it's
is your
strength.
Your tank or your run up and punch them in the nads guy.
Well, they're not even run up and punch. They are either full strength or full shield kind of thing. The Warlock is area of effect,
And
kind of, but has a
denial.
strong melee. And then the Hunter is stealthy, shoot you from a distance, but not quite.
But
It's
also
fast.
the most direct damage as well.
The Hunter does some, but they're not as efficient as the other.
For a one-on-one thing, the Hunter can take down most enemies quicker than anything else, because that's how it's mostly geared towards.
Well, the superpower, yes, but in balance, they've got strengths, they've got weaknesses, but they're not as clear cut in terms of how you play them as you might think.
They are pretty much the rogue.
Yeah, they can stealth. That's it.
They can also get around quicker, and again, they got more single damage things.
Yeah,
Whereas
to
the
to a
Warlock and the
point.
Titan get to do damage to more enemies, but not quite as concentrated.
Again, to a point.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. I mean, I've been playing through it, and there is a lot of options in each class that means you can specialize in more and more specific things. So if you want to hit someone and just punch someone in the face, all the classes do it. If you want to be good with grenades, all the classes do something. There is leanings to the superpowers for each of the classes, but that's entirely down to your playstyle. And in terms of playing versus the environment, there are good ways of doing it, there are bad ways of doing it, and to be honest, it's better if you've got more AoE stuff than single target damage to begin with, because you get through the game. As soon as you start talking about the PvP, it's a toss-up. But really, it's mostly you need friends to play with, and that will lead on to...
The most common complaint at the moment is, this is the most antisocial game I've ever played. Where the fuck is... If you're put on a PvP match, you can still only talk to people who are in your fire team. In the case of one of my friends, the dude on the other team was still in his fire team, and he could only talk to that guy. He wanted to warn somebody that some dude was sneaking up to melee him, but he couldn't because there's not even proximity chat.
Yeah, that I'm going to lead on to as well, because it's weirdly built. But it's a solid shooter. The story is the next thing I want to look at, because there really isn't a story.
The story...
Even with Felis saying go to BungieNet, there really isn't a story.
There isn't much of a story. In-game, you don't get given much of it. As far as I can tell,
There's less story than in Halo 4.
The Traveller came
really?
to mankind and helped enhance them so they could go, explore the galaxy. And then the darkness came along, and nobody likes the darkness because they do not believe in a thing called love, and they will not just listen to the rhythm of your heart.
Yeah, the big problem is there's more gaping plot holes than in an episode of Lost.
Yeah.
You literally are... Your introduction to the big NPC of the big Traveller is literally a case of, okay, I could explain about the battle, I could explain about this and that and the other, but the big thing is, the bad guys are coming back and you need to go kick their asses. And you go, okay.
No, it's, you don't need to kick their asses, you're trying to find a way to wake up the Traveller again, I think.
No, that's not even made clear to you. It's literally,
it's really
your
not.
job is to kick asses. That's how it's introduced.
Pretty much. But again, they seem to have this aversion to giving you story in the game.
Yeah.
You get very vague ramblings from Peter Dinklage during loading screens. You get a couple of cutscenes that don't actually advance the story much at all.
Very small cutscenes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a cutscene where you've killed a gate guardian and you give his head to some queen bitch, and I'm guessing the purple dude doesn't like you. Or something like that.
Yeah, well, that's not even really explained, because there are factions in this game, and that isn't explained. There are all these enemies that fight you, but also fight each other. That isn't explained. There's a ginormous sphere hanging over your city.
They might as well be the same enemies when all is said and told, because for the most part, unless I actually read the names, I don't actually know who he's fighting. Are that the Vex? Is that the Hive? I don't fucking know.
Oh, I can tell the difference quite easily, because they are distinctive. The problem is, there's no real explanation on why are they on the moon? Why are they on Venus? Why are they on Mars? Why don't they like each other? Why is it they don't like us?
Although-
and who is the bad guy behind it?
This race is slightly different because they got a different critical hit point.
Well, that's
Yay.
the Vex, and they seem to have
Yeah.
this weird steampunk-esque
They're
golden
robots.
age technology.
Yeah. Whereas if you shoot them in the head, like with every other thing in the game, they go berserk.
Yay,
So
berserk.
their weak points are their belly groins.
Yeah, I've not gotten to them yet. But this is the thing. Not much is really explained. You pick up bits and pieces before you even get to the loot. You pick up parts and strange things glowing from nuclear shells. Yay! You're not told what they're for. There's no explanation on what any of that is for. And the loot is sparse. I mean, I've played Borderlands with the original drop loot
You get
rates.
better
and
loot and more of it at higher levels, from what people have been noticing.
I've seen it better at higher levels, but even then it's...
They haven't
You
even
stop
explained
caring.
the difference between damage and impacts to the players yet. It's just two stats. And you're sort of going, I don't know what impact... We think it modifies the attack damage somehow.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, nothing's really explained. The wikis I've gone through don't have much information. But it's a good, solid game. This is the damn thing.
Yeah, the
It
shooting
plays
mechanics
well.
I've seen and played with a little bit have been perfectly executed.
Yeah, it plays really well. Being able to jump into a mission where you're literally in the open playground before you get to your instance, so you can just run around and shoot, it's hilarious. And then you go into your own little instance with whoever your friends are. So long as they can play a shooter, you're likely to get through it. You get some rewards, and then, well, hey, the big problem, as Felix mentioned, is the social aspect on this is non-existent.
It
I mean,
is. I mean,
bar the talking side of things, it's literally there's no social waves or anything. You can't communicate in-game to another player.
you can get a conga line going, or play with a beach ball, or find the hidden turn on the fans in the Citadel.
Yellow Sparking Channels touched on the story aspects. He said Destiny's storyline is pretty much Mass Effect. Find advanced tech on Mars, increase humans' tech level, big bad thing destroyed tech, go kill the big bad.
Pretty.
It's not even... I mean, that's kind of summing up, simplifying 3. And
Yeah,
that
I
is
mean-
literally summing up kind of 3, but... I mean, there are factions in Destiny that you know nothing about. You don't even know the races that you're playing.
I don't even know
Whereas
why
in
most of the races are there. I know you have the robots, the awakened, and humans, and there's a fourth race, isn't there?
Robots, Awakened, another form of robots, and human. Yeah, it's literally, I have no... In Mass Effect, I literally, by the time I've gotten to the first mission, got character bios, race bios, and a full explanation of what the hell I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and you're told the basics in Mass Effect, and if you really wanted to learn more... Wait, I've got Starship Troopers in my head. Would you like to know more? You got
But the
codex
social
to help.
aspect is annoying because it gets to the point where the top content, which Alex is probably looking at wistfully, you can't play...
Alex has hit cap now, I believe.
Yeah, hitting the cap is one thing, but the top content...
So the soft cap. He hasn't hit the hard cap.
Yeah, the top cap, once you hit 20, you can increase by another stat. But the thing is, the content that you're aiming at that point, you can only play if you have 5 other friends
Yeah.
who also have the game.
That's a big ask.
Yeah, I mean,
And
they
they're not
have,
randoms, 5 friends.
they have added putting a fire team to open, but the whole social aspect of it has been skewed. In the beginning of it, it was really hard just to get your friends to join a fire team because you had to do it all through complicated number of things in the beta.
Yeah, it's all stupid. It is all stupid.
One of the things I sat there going, man, I bet the Xbox players are just laughing at this point. Because all they got to do is press one button and go invite to party.
But that's the most annoying thing. It's a solid game, but there are things that keep...
It's a mechanically solid game.
Yeah, it's just lots of things that keep knocking it. I mean, I've got a profile that I could quite easily play on PS4, and a save file I can quite easily play on PS4 and PS3. I love that fact.
Until January. That's when the offer ends.
No, not digital copy. I've got an uploaded save file.
On PS Plus?
I have I have a PSN account.
So it's just the upgrade of the game is good until January.
So I can play quite easily this game on PS4. But it doesn't pull me in socially. There's nothing, even on the Bungie.net, there's nothing there that... Because with the Mass Effect one, there was a lot more stuff on there that made me want to play the game. Really. But it's a solid game. This is the stupid thing. It works. It's not worth the hype, though. No. Anything that the trailers have said, ignore it. Anything the Bungie have said, ignore that. It is a perfectly average game in all respects. Lower on the story. No, I wouldn't say average. It's a solid shooter. It lacks on story, but it gives you content that you can quite happily burn your way through for the equivalent cost you spend for it. But at the moment, it's not worth the hype.
It hasn't pushed any envelopes whatsoever.
No.
None at all. I mean, they just say this is like a grand new, groundbreaking advance in MMO shooters. You don't really have much in the way of MMO. Most areas are empty. It's like I described it to TK earlier. It's Destiny is to shooters what Shang Tsung is in Mortal Kombat. He's taken little bits away from all of his contemporaries, but he's still kind of shit. But at least he's got a ponytail.
But this is the daft thing. It's not really shit. You can't say it's a bad game. It's a solid game.
It's a case of I don't
enjoyable.
see it lasting for a couple of years at this point. It is a prologue to the game that they have been promising us for ages.
Well, this is one of three.
Yeah, the last couple of years they've been promising that Destiny is going to be awesome. It's like, okay, so we've now played a £50 prologue where you don't even trust yourselves to give us the story bits we need. You've just Halo 2'd us.
Well, again, I mean, this is early days in the overhauling arc, but we can't lambast the game that badly because it isn't bad. That's what I'm trying to underline. If you're a fan of shooters, you'll enjoy playing it, but it's not worthwhile of the hype that it's been getting.
It's not. And
I certainly wouldn't say it's one that's going to last, because we've also got Call of Duty, and we've also got Battlefield, and we also have Borderlands coming out within the next month.
I was going to say, it feels a lot like playing Borderlands, but without that sense of adventure to break up the grinding.
Oh, it doesn't even feel like Borderlands. There is nothing there of Borderlands.
I'm saying that's the closest thing I can bring it to. It's kind of like playing Borderlands, but you've got no sense of adventure.
It's kind of like playing Halo with some loot. That's it.
Yeah, it's Halo where you replay the level 3 or 4 times.
It's like an MMO, but without the MMO.
Yeah, that's what I've seen on comments. It's like an MMO, but without actually being an MMO, and the game trying not to say it's an MMO.
Even though we've used the word MMO an awful lot during our campaign.
We've used the MMO so much that really it should be an MMO. However, the game is saying, I'm not an MMO, whilst wearing a t-shirt saying, I'm with an MMO.
Apart from the first beta server hiccups, apparently nobody's had any problems so far, apart from a relative few who've had an error 37, I think it is?
Something like that. It's easy enough to get into, and the servers have been stable, so...
But basically, as long as they start adding...
online game?
As long as they start adding different types of mission at some point, I mean, the bits where people have been loving the most have been the departure from the standard, go here, shoot X number of Y enemy types, go over there, shoot more of these enemy types. But the level with the sword, one of the strikes.
Yeah. That one everyone says is excellent.
It broke up the monotony, and the sword mechanics aren't even that great. You have a 3-combo slash and an aerial attack. That's it.
Yep.
People love that. It breaks up the monotony of what you've had to go through so far, because all that's changed has been the environment you're doing these things in, really.
But that's pretty much it for my experiences of Destiny. I'm fairly confident Alex will want to say something, because he's hit the first cap. So he's probably looking at playing at least some of the higher end content, so we might hear some more next week.
Yeah, and the first cap is 20, the second cap is 60. Apparently.
I've not. The highest I've seen is 26.
Yeah, because it takes a long time. Basically, once you've hit the level cap of 20, you stop getting experience towards the next level. Instead, you equip new rare armors, which have something called light in them. It is the light of the traveler, or something like that.
But that, I
And
think,
once
is
you
it
feel
for
the light
Destiny.
kosher, yeah.
I pretty much think that's it for Destiny, because we need to give TK some time to talk about Comic Book the Movie.
Yeah, I'll do a very brief one then, since you two have waffled for the best part of half an hour.
Sorry.
Half an hour on Destiny. If you don't own Destiny, now you see there's no point doing it because everything's just been told to you. So there you go. Don't bother, it's not worth it. Seems to be the overarching review there. But Comic Book Movie, I saw it on YouTube because I didn't know if it was available anywhere else. And I just typed in Comic Book the Movie into YouTube, and there it was in 7 parts. 7 quite well edited parts. They seem to flow together quite nicely in a convenient playlist, which made it very nice. And it's a direct-to-DVD mockumentary based on a fictional comic called Captain Courage, or Commander Courage. And, yeah, it's Commander Courage. And the Hollywood remaking the comic into a big-budget action movie called Codename Courage. Now, Commander Courage was in this universe was pretty much the forebearer of every superhero ever. Basically, he was a World War II vet who then went and became a superhero. Kind of like a la Batman, but without all the crazy. And from then on, those comic books picked up massive success and basically were the inspiration for every comic book ever since, allegedly, according to this universe. Now, it stars Mark Hamill, who Xavier knows and loves, and lots of other people
We
know and love.
all love Mark. He's our fucking childhood.
Yeah, pretty much. He is your childhood. And mine.
It really is. The more I look at the things that he's done, I realise he has been my entire childhood.
Yeah. Basically, my childhood has been Mark Hamill, Cam Clark, and Ed Cummings.
Keith
Or
Davis
Jim
is a
Cummings,
surprising part of mine.
Jim Cummings and Mel Blanc. Oh, God, Mel Blanc. He's our childhood. And Shooty Lecco or something like that, doing all the music for our childhood. And creating all the themes for all the TV shows that you've ever seen when you were young, and the cartoons. Peasants. So, yes. Basically, Mark Hamill plays the lead character in this. He's also the producer, director, and everything. And the lead character, Donald Swan, is very much your human encyclopedia about Commander Courage. So he collects all of the old ones, he's got all the rare limited editions and everything like that, and he knows everything. And yes, the comic was rebooted into Codename Courage, which is what the big film's coming out on. But they've drafted him as kind of one of these kind of reference people. I've forgotten the word they use. Basically, you're the expert on the old thing, which they then go to reference every now and again, just to reassure the fans that they have taken the old stuff into heart, even though they're pissing all over it, franchise-wise. And basically, he's this consultant, so he has the idea to take a couple of the executives down to Comic-Con, just so they can get a feel for how popular Commander Courage is, and hopefully not quite rape the franchise so much when it comes to making their big Hollywood blockbuster. The film guys, however, have a different idea, and they want to use Comic-Con as a launch platform to announce it in all its kind of hardcore, death-killing glory, which is something that Mark Hamill's character, Donald Swan, is very much against. So Donald Swan arranges all these kind of weird and wonderful surprises to kind of throw them off the loop, to basically try and get them to come around to his point of view that maybe they should do a film based on Commander Courage as opposed to Codename Courage. This includes getting the only living relative of the creator of Commander Courage, a nice guy called Leo, who's played by Billy West, another name that should be familiar from your childhood. And he plays this little foreign guy who had no idea about comic books or anything until he was dragged to Comic-Con by Donald Swan, and ends up quite enjoying it, especially when he finds out that thanks to royalties from this, he's actually owed a fair amount of money. As you do. But it's filmed in the style of a mockumentary. They have a camera guy on hand who basically films everything and is basically friend to Donald and Leo. And he's played by Jess Harnell, a name you may recognise if you've ever paused the credits long enough in Animaniacs, because he provided the one that Rob Paulson didn't. And I can never remember which way round. Is it the Wacko or Yakko? One of the two.
If he's the frizzy hair baseball cap guy, that'd be Wacko.
That's Wacko then, yeah. Yeah, that's Jess Harnell. That was the voice of Wacko.
And he's got great stories to tell about it.
Oh, yes. Yes, he has.
You heard the one about the kid that didn't believe him. Right, even at the business class, they see, look at Warner Brothers, you wacko. It's like, yeah, prove you do the voice. And he like did the voice, and the kid just goes, I do it so much better. So I've got the documentary on my Nexus if you want to steal it.
What they
It's even got stories about Mel Blanc and Mel Blanc. Oh, what's her name? The woman that's still working today.
That doesn't narrow it down.
Rocket Squirrel.
Huh?
It's like, Rocket Squirrel, whatever her name was.
Rocket Squirrel.
Rocky. Like Rocky the Squirrel from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Oh.
The original granny.
Oh, her.
Her. She's still working. In her 90s.
Christ.
She got her first Oscar a couple of years ago.
Not bad. Not bad at all. So yeah, basically it's all the voice actors you know from your childhood coming together to make this film. And it also features a lot of cameos from people we do love in the industry. So, for instance, if you're a fan of Troma, you'll be happy to see that there is a very brief cameo by the lead of Troma. I don't know if he still is the lead, but he certainly was at the time, Lloyd Kaufman. There's also a cameo by Hugh Hefner doing a little interview. There's Bruce Campbell in it as well. David Prowse has a little go at it. Peter Mayhew, who played Chewbacca. And Jeremy Bulloch, who played Boba Fett. They all feature in this. Also,
Jonathan Winters.
Kevin Smith. Stan Lee, he's quite in there as well. Peter David, who's a comic book writer, in it. Bruce Timm, who's also a comic book writer. And they've all come together basically giving these little vox pops about how Commander Courage inspired them to do what they're doing today, and it's all due to this, that they're in the industry, etc., etc.
Isn't Bruce Timm one of the long-running Batman writers? I think.
Very possibly. Let's have a quick look at his wiki page. Yeah, he's a long-standing one on DC Comics. And I think he also did some of the cartoon series as well for Batman.
Yeah, he's done a fair amount of work in the DCU.
The New Adventures of Batman.
Yeah, he was one of the main writers on the Batman the Animated Series and beyond. So, yay!
Indeed. So yeah, it features a lot of your favourite geeky people and people responsible for making all your favourite geeky stuff. It also features the voice of Tara Strong as a hotel maid, for reasons that I don't really want to go into on this podcast. It's entertaining. And
was Yuri in it as well?
Who?
Yuri Platt.
Not that I can see.
Another prolific voice actor who Tara Strong happens to be married with and ends up working with on a lot of projects lately.
Yuri Platt. I can't see his name in the... let's IMDb the full cast list. I don't think so, is going to be my answer. Because don't forget, this was done back in 2002, I think.
Oh, they might not have been together back then.
Yeah, so quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
Back when a lot of these people were still young. But yeah, Maurice LaMarche and Rob Paulson were also in it. They're the voices of Pinky and the Brain.
I like their most recent Pinky and the Brain outing.
The one for the
yes,
Doug Walker, yeah. Although, saying that, that's not necessarily the most recent outing as Pinky and the Brain, technically. Because Rob Paulson has his own podcast. And Maurice LaMarche regularly features on it.
Okay.
Yes?
Could you toss me my phone, please?
Yeah.
Just so I can check those texts.
I've no idea where I put it. It's at the end of a cable somewhere.
Do you want me to just come in whilst you guys
it's going to be easier. So yeah, basically, it is this huge mockumentary about Donald Swan basically trying to get the film producers to see his point of view, and the film producers going on and doing what they want to do. And in the end, it turns out that the film isn't going to be that good. Donald Swan manages to get a leaked copy of the script and hates it because it is just full of all the violence and nastiness that he'd come to expect and not like. And so he ends up being taken care of, which links back to the Tara Strong cameo. In the end, he manages to escape his situation and dives back onto the stage as they've announced codename Courage. They've managed to get Leo, the last living relative of the original creator, on board, and he's basically just shilling for the money. But in the end, the fans seem to get behind the project. They're all clapping and applauding, going, "Yeah, codename Courage, yeah, it's going to be the greatest thing," until Donald Swan comes in and obviously saves the day for the happy ending, which results in Leo taking charge of the film project and making Commander Courage, with Donald Swan being hired for it, and all the events that happened therein. Now, it does last for about an hour and a half or so. It's a good length. Apparently, if you get the DVD copy, there's pretty much a second DVD full of outtakes and extras and things that is just probably as good as, if not better, as the main film itself. All the interviews done were done unscripted to maintain a kind of believability about them, even though they are talking about this fictional character and fictional comic strip and things. And it's a generally quite entertaining watch. And it's one of these things that's made about the geeks, but it's done knowing what the geeks like and not mocking them for it. It's very much for the geeks, as opposed to something like Big Bang Theory, which is, ha ha ha, look at how the geeks behave, isn't that stupid?
It's like, hey, they mentioned something geeky. Laugh!
Laugh now, laugh peasants, because we told you to. No.
My girlfriend would disagree with this assumption, but it's what I saw. It's a case of the laugh track was only there if they mentioned something geeky. And I was like, it wasn't a joke, he just said Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
What the hell?
Big Bang Theory is very much, haha, look at the geeks, look what they do, aren't they stupid?
Yeah. The IT crowd, on the other hand.
Yeah, whereas comic book, the movie comes up along and says,
Whole internet is in this box.
Here is your childhood on a platter. Revel in the nostalgia, biatch. Revel. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, actually, considering I don't really give a shit about comic books and stuff. Just a lot of the voice actors from my childhood coming out and doing a spot of acting as a giggle. The plot of it is nice and silly, but it's entertaining enough to keep you engaged with the whole story along the way. And yeah, considering I saw it for free on YouTube, very much worth the price of admission, I'd say. And I would now like to get my hands on a DVD of it, just so I could see what special features are on it. There's also another film as well. There's, I think it's called I Know That Voice. If you're in America, you can get it on Netflix. I don't know if you can in the United Kingdom
that's
yet.
the documentary I just referenced earlier.
Ah, I want a copy of that then.
Yes, for mine is a legitimate copy.
Ooh. And yeah, I definitely want that.
You want it for there's a whole load of Mel Blanc bits in the middle there. The Kevin Conroy 9/11 Batman story.
Ooh.
Have you heard that one?
No.
He was working in a kitchen for some of the workers, clearing up 9/11.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's so depressing.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and apparently, one of the guys went to him. You're Kevin Conroy, aren't you? He's like, yeah, I am. He sat there in the dirty, kitchen clothing.
Yeah.
And the guy goes, oh my god, you're Batman! It's like, hey guys, you never guess who's been serving your soup? Batman! It's like from the back of the room, suddenly it goes, bullshit! Prove it! And so from in the kitchen, Kevin Conroy goes, I am darkness. I am the night. I am Batman! And so he goes, holy shit, that is Batman! And apparently, people just started laughing at that moment, and the guy just turned around to Kevin Conroy and goes, then what's it like being Santa Claus? That moment where everybody's laughing just now, that's like Christmas.
Yep.
And the Mel Blanc story where he came out the coma because his doctor started asking him how his characters were doing.
Okay.
He went into a coma.
As you do.
As you do. And he'd been in the coma for 2 weeks, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor started going, Mel, can you hear me? Are you okay, Mel? It's like, then he heard one of the characters on the radio, and he went, hey, Bugs, you in there? Yeah, what's up, Doc? And it is literally doing the impressions of the characters that brought Mel Blanc out of the coma that he'd been in after his car accident.
Damn.
Which had been the first time that he'd missed a recording session.
Ooh.
So they then moved recording equipment into the hospital room.
Nice.
So that he could work from traction. It's actually a really wonderful story, and yeah, pretty much most of the voice actors there were sat there going, it was one of your best influences. Mel Blanc's.
Yeah. Now, if you like Mark Hamill and would like to know more about Mark Hamill, then robpaulsonlive.com.
Indeed.
Where the podcast lives. Look up episode 113 for the Mark Hamill episode. It was recorded live, and you get lots of stories about Mark Hamill, about how he behaves, how he interacts with his fans. For instance, he won't actually do the Joker in front of people. When people come up and ask him to do the Joker, he'll make them either close their eyes or turn their back or something so they can't see him do it. Because he says that if they see me do it, it takes away part of that magic. It's basically seeing behind the curtain. Whereas if you just hear the voice, then your mind fills in that imagination and you can actually see the Joker in your mind's eye, and it maintains that illusion. Which I thought was quite nice.
He actually did Luke Skywalker and the Joker during one panel when he was sat on.
Yeah, that was pretty recent actually. Somebody got him to do Luke Skywalker and the Joker at the same time, and it was great.
And the Rob Paulson, I think they made him do Joker versus Yakko. That was funny.
I remember that one time when somebody said to him, what would your interpretation of Heath Ledger's Joker be? And Mark Hamill just giving this huge speech of how he respects Heath Ledger, and the way that he did the Joker is something that Hamill couldn't really do himself, and he loves how everybody's brought their own thing to it. At the end of this, everybody's sat there clapping because Mark Hamill's just a good guy.
He is a good guy.
He's a great guy. And then the fans stood up and went, I feel really bad for saying this, but all I wanted was actually for you to say, why so serious?
Whereas if you check out the podcast, you'll actually hear the whole story about how Mark Hamill got the Joker gig.
He auditioned for Mr. Freeze.
Among other things.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't. He auditioned an open casting, and he didn't get Mr. Freeze either.
No, he didn't. They brought him in, just said, yeah, you'll be doing the Joker. And he's like, what?
Not quite. He read for the Joker.
Yeah.
And then was quite surprised when he got it. Couldn't remember what he'd done. And
but the original thing he came in for was he was thinking, I could do Mr. Freeze.
Well, he said to his agent, get me on that show. I don't care what I'm doing. And so he got a character. And
some of the panel thing on it about how he became the Joker.
And yeah, it was hilarious because apparently other actors were teasing him, basically going, "Oh, you're doing the Joker. You're putting yourself up there. I wouldn't want to be following Jack Nicholson."
And then what happened? He became the Joker.
He became the Joker for 20 odd years as well.
Yeah, damn.
That's a gig. So
it's
yeah,
like Kevin Conroy became Batman for those years. Funny enough, Tara Strong was actually most incarnations of Batgirl, or
Really?
Barbara Gordon, throughout some of the animated episodes, throughout all of the video games, up until the Arkham games, where she's now Harley Quinn.
so I didn't realise Tara Strong had been in quite so much because I first kind of found out about her because on her website she offers My Little Ponygram because she's one of the ponies.
She is Twilight Sparkle, I think.
Yeah, Twilight Sparkle, I think. Yep.
And that's what everybody knows her for at the moment. That and doing Harley Quinn, her two shrillest voices.
And all of a sudden, I'm just hearing her name popping up on everything, and it's like, holy cow, this girl has done a lot.
Yes, she was also Timmy Turner from Fairy Odd Parents.
Really?
Yes. Which is why I was ashamed, because remember the Star Wars voice actor panel? That's what pissed me off, because out of all the voices Tara Strong has done in her surprisingly illustrious career,
Yeah.
she was only asked to do the fucking pony voice and the Timmy Turner voice.
Ah.
Because it was all characters that they'd all played. They were doing things for one. And yeah, I was surprised that she, what, no Batgirl? What?
For shame. No, she's actually been around for quite a long time. I was actually quite impressed and quite surprised. So yeah, I can recommend Comic Book Movie, even if you're not really into comic books. It's definitely worth it just to see your childhood in the flesh.
I like how this came around to one of my main interests, and suddenly we could waffle and fill up an extra 10 minutes of the show.
I know, right? Considering you've not done and dusted yourself today, you've actually managed to pitch it with everyone else's quite successfully.
Yeah, I've been doing things apparently there, crossing over with everybody else.
Welcome to your subject of interest.
Yes.
Today's speciality is voice actors. Oh, we've tuckered him out.
And on that note,
we haven't got enough time for the done and dusted for the kickstarting thing.
No,
but I will do the one that I've linked TK to twice by accident.
Okay.
One because I copied the
game.
link from the link. This is actually the one of the few good things to come from Gamergate in general, which is a
this one.
fundraiser on CrowdRise, which is collecting donations for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
That's a fucking long name.
It is. I shall call it AFSP.
Asperger.
AFOPS. Okay, so yeah, they have already hit their goal, but this is actually something which shouldn't just reach its goal. It should get as much funding as it can at the moment. Recognizing the need for awareness and aid, we are raising money to benefit the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Depression is a very serious and often silent issue that plagues many. Oftentimes, video games are used by some as a means of escapism to get away from those feelings. But we recognize that sometimes people need more help than this. And they may not be aware that there is help out there, an ear and a voice that won't judge, won't criticize, a community that understands and that can help bring them through their most trying times. Go. Pledge. Otherwise, you'll make me a sad fearless.
Make him a sad fearless.
Well, that's just not very nice. I like the way it's by low ping as well.
By
Low ping. It's low ping fundraiser.
Oh, yeah. And I did originally see it on Escapist, who, to their credit, after realizing, did a huge apology for most of their actions. And the way they'd been portraying certain things. The editorial thing that they put out. And they said, we're going to be making a fuck ton of changes around here, we'll tell you that. So I found out, and the general manager for the Escapist had to say, full disclosure, I am one of the contributors to the fundraiser.
I would say that a lot of the Gamergate thing about the journalists disrespecting the viewers and things, there's a lot of validity in that. However, there are some journalists on there that are known for disrespecting their viewers, and it's part of their charm.
The third part in an ongoing trilogy, which is the most recent part before this was the Mass Effect 3 thing.
Yep.
In which there was especially IGN outwardly calling people fuckwits on their YouTube show.
But then look at Yahtzee. Ben Yahtzee Croshaw. He's pretty much made himself the living of being that guy who will call you all bricks just because he can. But we still love him.
But he also goes, there's nothing to it.
Yeah, I mean,
And I will always make sure I don't go too far on a certain point.
Yeah, I mean, he's restrained and he's sensible about these things, but he's not afraid to basically just say, no, you're all a bunch of twats, don't like you.
He'll outright say, I fucking hate this game, but it wasn't really marketed at me, so I'm guessing it's kind of good.
But no, if you ever watch his Let's Drown Out series, he will just openly lay into people. Not, like, personally, but lay into the fan base and stuff. His own fan base. He will just lay into you all a bunch of morons and things like that.
Unfortunately, his fan base tend to be a bit dumb, hence why PC Gaming Master Race is a thing that took off, even though he was mocking you all.
Exactly. He spends most of his time mocking his fan base, and we just laugh it up, because, it's mocking, but it's that kind of friendly joshing mocking as opposed to actual despising, which is where a lot of this kind of didn't quite go very well. A lot of the journalists went on the despising mocking as opposed to the friendly joshing, yep, it's all part of the character type thing. A bit like Jim Sterling as well.
Yeah, I never liked Jim Sterling much.
I didn't ever like his presentation.
Yeah, he always came about as a bit preachy and smug, and that
arrogant.
Always threw me off.
Yeah, his arrogance I didn't like, but it's just part of the character. But I expect Jim Sterling himself is actually a very nice guy.
Jim Sterling himself has been buttering his butthole in preparation for the fact that he dared give a bad score to Destiny.
Oh, the crime. I might stand behind him on this one. Especially if he's got a nice
now, that's where
bottom.
the comments on that is where I saw most of the, it's really good 10 to 15 hours in. You have to keep me playing for 10 to 15 hours.
Yeah, no, not going to happen.
I might pick up the PS3 version, I don't know.
It's Bro Pete's.
I'm pretty much going to be playing this for a while, I will point that out.
Pete? Dibs?
TK?
Yeah?
Just because Felix is being annoying, give him a big kiss.
No.
Does he look like Wolfie?
Is that a slight on TK?
I think it's more of a slight on Wolfie.
Oh.
I'm now trying to think if it is a slight.
But no, he's been kissing women. I might get girl cooties. That's nasty.
You don't have to kiss him on the mouth.
What?
Again, I might get girl cooties. That's nasty.
So all I just had was Adam Baldwin going, that's why I never kiss him on the lips. Like, what?
I'm fairly sure we had a point at some stage.
I think we were just about to go.
Well, we are now. Well, I don't think we should be around any much longer. I think we're losing any kind of charity that we had.
I am aging pretty quickly.
Oh, really?
Uh...
So, you're coming into my age range.
It's a good thing that your age range advances at the same rate as I'm aging.
Well, that's convenient, that, isn't it?
I know, right?
So, on that
Makes me
note...
feel so much safer about sitting here.
Yeah, you just wait till Paige gets home. Taxi!
I'm actually thinking I might get a taxi back just so I can help Alex turn on the heating. Which what one of the texts was about. He thinks he's turned on the heating, he's not sure.
Well, is it getting warmer? If the answer is yes, then you've turned on the heating.
Well, he has 3 steps. He has to turn on the boiler, turn the dial from bright sunlight to dark sunlight, and then turn on the thermostat and his radiator.
Nice, not complicated system there at all. Oh, no, you just press a button.
I just play the music whenever Kevin Costner does his boat things, as I do it all.
Whereas after the show tonight, I've got to try and find a light bulb, unless I want to use the studio lighting for the rest of the night. It's the reason why
it shouldn't matter that much, as long as you're not staring at the screen in the dim room. Okay, yeah, find a fucking light.
Yeah.
I'll make another drink before I do anything, at least.
But I've also got to source something for dinner, because a hoisin duck taster isn't really enough. Tasty as it was. Dinner. But on that note, it is a good night from the Xavier.
Good night, all.
It's a good night from the Fearless.
Good night.
And it's a good night for myself, TK. Thank you very much for listening for this week's episode of Tiger Tales Radio. Join us again next week, where we might even have a full cast list. You never know your luck. But we will be having myself, probably Xavier, probably Fearless, and maybe even Alex, talking about the same kind of fun and bollocks that we've been talking about this week. Except
Fun and bollocks.
different. But
Except I will have arbitrarily aged.
by about a week. And probably returned with a red shirt and a black tie, as opposed to a black shirt and a red tie this week. We see what you're doing there. Don't think you can hide that from us. But until then, it's a night-night, everybody. Night-night.